Hello everyone, Kristen Hoffman here, and I am so excited to invite you to this week's Saturday Night Alive show as I co-host alongside our beloved Scott Katamas around the theme, The Great Awakening, Balancing Personal Freedom and Collective Vision. This promises to be a super juicy theme, and I have personally invited some of my favorite visionaries, leaders, mentors, and creative friends to come along for this deep dive conversation and exploration of freedom and our growth together as a collective.
Well, because Saturday Night Alive is a live show, that is not the right video that I was supposed to be playing. So usually we start with our promotional trailer, our bumper, and so I am going to put that bumper on because we love the bumper. But don't worry, you're going to get a lot of the real live Kristen Hoffman tonight. She's actually with us live, and she's going to be co-hosting the show, and I'm really excited about it. But let's take a look at our bumper, all right?
What have been your favorite forms of entertainment and connection with others? Were most of them shut down by the pandemic? It sure has been a tough time. Out of the dark of an unprecedented year, an incredible online community was birthed.
It's Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. Ready for community inspiration and magical moments online? Since April 2020, this dynamic show has touched the lives of people all around the world. Join prominent luminaries, musicians, magicians, and comedians. This is your chance to relax and enjoy uplifting entertainment and inspirational messages from the comfort of home. Together, we are creating a new paradigm. Saturday Night Alive showcases internationally acclaimed speakers, best-selling authors, and wisdom keepers. Let them illuminate your path with tips, tools, and insights. It also sheds light on many timely topics. Discover how to master your relationships. Dive into the secrets behind ancient history. Receive deep wisdom from indigenous elders, and much more. Dance along to live performances with high-vibe musicians and hear what these brilliant performers have to say. Experience major artists from the Conscious Festival circuit and beyond. You'll be dazzled by our conscious comedy, magnificent magic, and spoken word. The show is meeting our needs during these critical times. Saturday Night Alive delivers inspirational wisdom, community connection, and positive vibes. Join us every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, or catch the replays. Register for Zoom Room access. Enjoy live chats and a pre-show experience with presenters and the Global Peace Tribe. Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. Find out more and register now at globalpeacetribe.com.
Yes, everybody. We want you, if you're watching live on Facebook or on one of the YouTube channels, come in right now into our Zoom room. We want you to register. And it's really easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com. globalpeacetribe.com and register. And what's wonderful is that way you can come into our Zoom room, join the couple of 300 people we always have with us. You can chat directly with our presenters, and also that way you're on our email list and you'll learn about all of our upcoming events. So it's going to be wonderful new season, and we are kicking off our season in a wonderful way. We're going to have a special celebrity co-host for every show. And our co-host tonight is one of the most magical, angelical, wonderful human beings I've ever met. It's been such a joy to work with her. You've, those of you that are regulars, you've heard her sing, you've heard her speak a little bit, but she is our co-host, and she's brought on some of her favorite friends. So with no further ado, I get to turn it over to the wonderful Kristen Hoffman.
It is such an honor to be here tonight. And wow, I love co-hosting with you, Scott. I can't imagine a better partner to work with over this past week to get this show going. And we have some incredible guests tonight. And the theme, I think, is one that is very important for our times. The theme tonight is the Great Awakening, balancing personal freedom and collective vision. We've just gone through a very challenging past year and a half where I think almost all of us have had to rethink the way we go about our daily lives, our networking with each other, our communing, our business, everything. We've had to think outside the box. And as we reinvent ourselves to come into the present and really show up to the calling of now, this question of balance comes up again and again. And I think of it this way. It's important to focus on loving ourselves first and listening to what our needs are. Yet if we get too consumed with the self and too overwhelmed in the self, it can really tip the scale and we can forget that we're a part of the larger picture. And during these times, if we go all out and we're just giving all of our energy to the collective and trying to help here and help there and not listening to our bodies and to our minds and to our hearts and spirits, we also can get out of balance. So how do we find that balance within our own lives, within ourselves, so that we can be most present to the awakening that is happening all around us and within us? I mean, we are connecting here tonight all over Zoom. I've been in countless group meetings with people all around the world. There is definitely something happening, and it is beautiful that we are touching each other and talking to each other on a world scale, really for the first time in our human evolution. So we're going to dive deep into this conversation tonight, both through speakers and healers and beautiful arts experiences. We are in for a real treat. And I would like to just briefly introduce our incredible speakers. We are going to be very blessed with some wise voices tonight. And Scott is going to share some pictures, I think, of our luminaries.
Yeah.
First, we have Bruce Lipton. And Bruce Lipton, oh my goodness, you are just so brilliant. I can't tell you how excited I am that you're here tonight, and your pre-show talk was just incredible, and it will be played again in the after show for anyone who missed it. Bruce is a cell biologist and lecturer. He is internationally recognized leader in bridging science and spirit, as well as a best-selling author. Bruce, thank you for being here. Love you. Sister Jenna, oh, beloved Sister Jenna. In addition to being one of my greatest mentors in this life, Sister Jenna is an acclaimed, trusted spiritual mentor for many and host of the popular show America Meditating Radio. I am so grateful you can be with us tonight, Sister Jenna. I know it will be profound. And Oscar Miro Casada Solevo is joining us tonight. Oscar, I am so grateful that you can be here sharing your wisdom and spirit and big heart. Oscar is an internationally acclaimed shamanic teacher and healer, founder of the Heart of the Healer, and originator of Pachacuta Mesa tradition, cross-cultural shamanism. Thank you, Oscar. Infinite gratitude. And Elizabeth Sartouris, who many of you saw in the pre-show talk, got a taste of her incredible wisdom and spirit. You are in for a treat. She's going to be coming back and sharing as a solo speaker. Elizabeth is an internationally known evolution biologist, futurist, and author. Thank you, Elizabeth. Keishi Chai is joining us tonight. Keishi and I have had the honor of working together for years. She is one of the most incredible creatives that I know. Keishi is a transformational performer, director, and dance leader, and is founder of internationally acclaimed Belly Queen and Pure Dance. Keishi, I'm looking forward to your performance. Dr. Jude Curavan is coming on tonight. Jude is a cosmologist, planetary healer, futurist, author, previously one of the most senior businesswomen in the UK, and co-founder of Whole World View. Jude is just an incredible spark of light and information. You are in for a real treat. And Nev Winkworth, beloved Nev, thank you for joining us. Nev is a profound spiritual awakening guide from Australia. He has committed his life to healing facilitation so that others may experience the expansion of possibility and feel deep impact and new awareness in their state of well-being. Nev is truly so special. I've been blessed with a few healing sessions with Nev, and I'm so grateful you could join us. And our musicians tonight include the incredible Kwajo Spiri. Kwajo is a conscious musician and Afro-hop artist hailing from Ghana. You're going to love his great spirit and wisdom. And Stephanie Carlin. Oh, Stephanie, I'm so grateful you're here. Stephanie has some incredible new music to share, and she is an empowerment musician, speaker, healer, and founder of Truth School. And Stephanie is coming from New York. Stephanie, looking forward. And lastly, I am Kristen Hoffman. I will just say about myself, I'm a conscious musician, and I strive every day of my life waking up to use music as a vehicle for connection, to open our hearts and re-spark our visions together. Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight as co-host. And I'm going to pass it back to Scott.
You took me by surprise there.
Should I just go in and do my thing?
Well, now that put it on to me. Deborah, by the way, if people are asking, where's Deborah? She is on vacation in Mexico. So hola to our dear friend Deborah. And we sent her lots and lots of love. And yeah, we always like to start our show with music. And so I asked Kristen, and at first she was shy. She was like, well, no. I said, Kristen, I'd like for you to start the show with a song, please. And she agreed, which is great. So with no further ado, I get to turn it over not only to one of our favorite musical performers, but our host for the evening, Kristen Hoffman.
Oh, thank you. Well, I am so excited to share this brand new song, which some of you may have heard little pieces of. This song was birthed live on Saturday Night Alive on May 15th. And it was I went back and listened and I realized, this has to be a song. And I created this song into a studio version for World Unity Week, which just happened last week. And a bunch of people submitted videos and we released a whole new video. And I am just thrilled to share this. This song is called One Song Singing. And it literally is about the Great Awakening. And before I play, I just want to invite you to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to tap into your future selves. Feel yourself tapping into your future self. And then I want you to remember back to a moment that's it's almost right now. It's in the near future. I want you to remember back to a moment that we all shared simultaneously. And in this moment, we all heard the instrument of love, the frequency of love play and emanate across the planet at the same time. And do you remember the awakening that happened when we heard and remembered that sound? That when we remembered who we are and what we are and how we are connected. Imagine how profound that was and how much that changed the planet. So tap into your future selves as you're listening to this song, and may we collectively remember together. One song singing. When the instrument of love was played, all beings fell to their knees, palms pressed,
deep to the heart of Gaia. All the dying breaths and all the birthing cries were one song singing, one song singing. Ooh, 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 we are one song singing, one song. One song, we are one song singing. When the instrument of love was played, all hatred surrendered to peace. Tears flowed straight to the heart of Gaia. All the anguished sighs and all ecstatic joys were one song singing. One song singing. Ooh, we are one song singing, one song. One song, we are one song singing. One song singing. One song singing. Oh, oh, one song to the heart of Gaia. Hold your hands up, palms to the ground, palms pressed to the heart of Gaia. Send her all your love. Palms pressed to the heart of Gaia. Feel the pulse that connects us all. Palms pressed to the heart of Gaia.
Infinite gratitude, dear ones. Thank you. I love you all.
Kristen, just want all of us to kind of percolate for a moment. And just the incredible vibration you bring with your consciousness that comes through your voice, but it's from your heart, it's from your spirit, and it brings us into such a beautiful place. I have a request for all of you who are watching and listening. Tonight we aren't sponsoring a particular nonprofit organization. As you know, we do a lot of fundraising. This show began as a fundraiser, and most shows we have an organization that we're sponsoring. But tonight, what I'd like to request that people do is all go to KristenHoffman.com. Go to KristenHoffman.com, and the way she spells, by the way, it's Kristin, Hoffman, and there's two N's at the end of it. So it's Kristen Hoffman, Hoffmann. And when you go to KristenHoffman.com, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little place where it says Payment and Membership. And she's got a brand new membership site that she just launched this week, and we can become a member. And I was happy to become a member. I came in at the Crown membership site because she activates my crown chakra so beautifully. But this is a wonderful way for us to support our musical friends. And, the pandemic's been hard on a lot of people, and especially musicians. So become part of her Sonic Soul family. It can be as little as $11 a month, or $33 a month, or $77 a month. And she's going to provide you with all sorts of amazing recordings and special experiences. So please, I'm requesting that tonight we go to KristenHoffman.com and her membership site, and that's what we're going to be supporting this evening, to support this amazing voice so that her voice can get out to the world much more effectively. Let's all become part of her Sonic Soul family.
Oh, Scott, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm starting a new Sonic Soul Family monthly gathering the second Sunday of each month. And it's going to be a time to come together, and I'll share a few musical pieces, and we'll get to have a different subject each time and talk together. And my vision is that we could really create a thriving community that is enhanced through the vehicle of music and the arts. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to keep the camera on me for a minute as I have the great honor to introduce one of my most beloved, my favorite, most beloved humans in this world, Sister Jenna. Sister Jenna and I first met in California when we were both taking part in Dr. Emoto's memorial ceremony with water, and we just instantaneously felt each other's presence of peace and love, and we were just instantaneously drawn to stay connected. And since that time, Sister Jenna has been one of my greatest mentors and guiding lights. And actually, to find the strength in myself to say yes to co-hosting, I tap back in to the many programs that I've been a part of with Sister Jenna and how gracefully she guides and leads and holds space. So thank you for being my teacher, Sister Jenna. And I just want to say a little bit about her, although a little bit could never be enough. Sister Jenna is an acclaimed, trusted spiritual mentor, committed to bridging divides in societies and building relationships between global influencers. She is the founder and director of the Brahma Kumaris Meditation Museum, located in the metropolitan Washington, D.C. area, and the host of the popular America Meditating radio show. Om Shanti is the theme that she has been traveling with, and just recently got a new property called Om Shanti Village. And we just can send her so many blessings for the birth of this new property. And she released a new album called Om Shanti. And I had the great pleasure a year ago, during one of her incredible American meditating retreats, I was channeling a song coming through spontaneously, and of course thinking of Sister Jenna, Om Shanti was the guiding theme, and this song birthed itself, and she made a music video out of it, and it's been traveling the world, and it's been so fun to weave with you through music, Sister Jenna. Thank you, and I invite you to just share your unique personal experience of the Great Awakening that we're going through and sharing.
Om Shanti. Kristen, I think you forgot when we really met. Everyone, I have the best story. We were at the California Expo, but Kristen had signed up for one of the workshops with about 5 psychics on the table. And I was one of the panelists on that panel. And out of the 4 other psychics that are on the table who were talking about their beds were shaking and they see 100 spirits and, things that are happening and things are moving, I just turned to the panelists. I go, well, that's amazing. I don't have any of that happening to me. But I do believe that if we got rid of our algae, there will be no spirits. And remember, that was like the conversation. And it's an acronym that I use a lot, everyone. A for anger, L for lust, G for greed, A for attachment, and E for ego. And it was after that session, actually, Kristen kind of came up to me and said, you know what? Out of everyone, you really made sense.
Sister Jenna, I could never forget that incredible moment. You're right. That was the real first connection, and we've gotten some good laughs about that since.
I was sitting on that panel, and I judged no one. Please know, I am the least judgmental person on the planet that I know, at least. And I was saying, why did Antonia book me on a panelist of psychics? She knows I don't see spirits or anything like that. But from that scene, the awakening that emerged was my beautiful relationship with Kristen Hoffman. And as I sit here and I'm listening to her voice and I know her soul, I know the awakening that's coming through her, and I could feel how it was moving my spirit, and I could feel that that's great. And I think if we encounter anything in life, or a person or a situation that it just moves your spirit, you're having an awakening. And you might be hearing the fireworks in the background because it's 4th of July tomorrow, and our conversation is on our balance of personal freedom, collective freedom, the Great Awakening. You're going to have so many incredible presenters after me. I thought to myself, I'd like to offer us maybe 15 seconds of freedom. I'd like to invite you to turn your attention behind your eyes and simply be in your awakening, your stillness, your love, your power, your peace, your purity. It's interesting that sometimes you pull back and go into a moment of solitude or silence to awaken. And silence is so expansive. And I was thinking about a mentor that I've been influenced by for almost 30 years. I've been thinking about him a lot, Brahma Baba. And I thought to myself, in the 30s, this man by himself, walking in his own personal freedom, his own personal capacity to be free. He's getting this nudge, Thoughts and things keep knocking on the door of his mind, and somehow this divine intervention of God's light slips into his consciousness. One man. And he becomes awakened from the divine intervention of God's light. And He starts to see himself differently in the mirror, and he starts to see the people in his life with a different light, and he starts to think of the world with a different vision, and he's different. That awakening was great for him. And he wasn't thinking of creating a large movement or an organization. He was self-focused on the awakening, the energy, what was stirring in him. If we ended this show tonight on Kristen's song, we could go deep into the awakening of what that song meant and the vibrations that followed with it. And just imagine him in the 30s. And he goes into that awakening. And the experience that his soul is carrying, others around him were feeling it, who all were in their own place of personal freedom, and they were all perhaps living their own personal balance. And when they came into that vortex of that awakening, they started to have a great awakening, individually. Innocent young men, women, mothers, fathers, aunties, uncles, businessmen, uneducated, educated. Just because of one man's awakening, his vibration, his experience, somehow attracted individuals who were paused. They were seeking. They were feeling. They were tapping into that experience, and there was nothing to distract them from it. And so they went deep into it, as Kristen was saying. Let's go into a deep dive. They went deep into the awakening Brahma Baba had, and they started to go deep into their own awakening they were having. And before you knew it, from 1 came 2, came 5, came 10, came 50, came 1,000, birthed 1,000,000. And you and I know that if there are more than 2 or 3 people in a space praying fervently, something mystical and magical will occur. And if everyone tonight chooses to allow the evening to be their pause, yes, entertainment is there. Yes, the joy is there. Yes, yes, yes. But to be able to do something different tonight and pause and nurture the feelings that are shifting in your soul from tonight's session. Imagine the collective resonance that will take place on the planet. You and I won't even know the impact. The success of this program isn't going to be the hundreds of thousands of people that will tune in and hear it. That is one. But the success of our program tonight will be the lives that were changed. Someone out there, somebody tuning in tonight who just pulls back a little bit and says, yes, I've got to start to experience the real essence of my existence and not be distracted anymore. I'm ready. We're ready to tap into the awakening of virtues and divinity and purity and peace, and filling that experience and vibration in our personality, that wherever we go and whatever we do, it just has that energy in it. And I've thought to myself over and over again, there is so much information in the world, out there, everywhere for us. There is so much information. What do we do with it? At some point, you have to land. At some point, you'll have to select something that speaks to the core of your spirit and not only makes you a great awakening, but the experience goes so deep in you that whatever you do is an awakening. And you don't even know it's awakening anyone. This is how pure our great awakening has to be. And I have seen it with my eyes. When Kristen sings, she's not thinking of the whole world lording over her. She lets go of our interpretation of her, and she goes into her awakening, that special sacred place where God lives in her. And I think if she could sing for 24/7, she would, because it's got to be one of the most sweetest experiences when she's in that zone. And I think the way that we're balancing this whole journey and time that we're in is that on one side, the chaos and the algae, the anger, the lust, the greed, the attachment, and the ego, it's so loud and it's so distracting, you know? But then on the other side, there's folks like us, you know, and we're loving, we're peaceful, we're kind, we're thoughtful, and it's like the seesaw, right? And those kind, loving, peaceful, sweet people are just, they're balancing it out. And eventually from one person, 5, 50, 100, 1,000, millions, a billion, we're all going to wake up whether you want to or not. The awakening is going to be inevitable, but it starts with one person. It starts with one of you in your environment, awakening to the core of the beauty of your spirit. Simple steps I'll leave you with because my time is coming to that point. Can I ask you to practice having good wishes and pure feelings for everyone that you meet? It's an awakening. Can you somehow allow yourself to have a conversation, intimate conversation with your own mind regularly, every day? And if you ever find yourself in a really difficult situation or a challenging moment, just ask yourself, what does love want here? How will love respond? And in doing so, you would have invited God's love with you. And He will never set you wrong. It'll always be the right decision. So I think the Great Awakening is something that begins with you when you're able to pause and really listen to something that stirs your spirit. And you don't ever allow yourself to get distracted from that space. And something in your being will start to get balanced. The in and the out, the up and the down. It will all start to just sink in just perfectly. And before you know it, your life is the example. And you won't need to have any more words. The collective just start to resonate everywhere you turn. You'll just see people just like you. You hear it, you resonate with it, and you wake up one day, and the same soul that's in your body might just wake up one day and see a golden age at paradise at some other point in time, but that same soul will actually feel the benefit of the awakening, a golden age, a world of no sorrow. Last but not least, as of today, promise me you will not give sorrow to anyone and you will not take sorrow from anyone. And I suspect if you do that, life's going to be a great awakening for you. Thank you guys for having me on today and for having me be a part of Saturday Night Alive. I have seen it and I've scrolled through it, I've paused at it, and to actually be a part of it. Thanks, Kristen. Thank you for having me on. Thank you, everyone, for spending your time and energy with us. Om Shanti.
Now, before you go, I think even though you wondered, why am I here? I'm not a psychic. I don't see all those things. You just gave the most beautiful prophecy, or you could say psychic vision, for all of us. As you were speaking about the Great Awakening, and I've got tears because I could feel it. It was like there was this beautiful moment in time between this moment in time and a very soon moment in time, and I felt it. So, Sister Jenna, I do believe that you might be a little more psychic than you're giving yourself
It's a
credit.
secret.
Secrets out. People watching Saturday Night Alive. And I imagine that Kristen just wants to say something, so I am going to.
How did you know? Oh, Sister Jenna, every time you speak, I cry from the first time to now. I never cease to have the tears just come when you just open your heart and your soul. Thank you for that sharing that you just gave with your full heart. I'm so grateful. And I know this community is grateful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Kristen.
And Sister Jenna gets up at about 4 in the morning every day. So I know
30.
it's 3:30.
Let me show off now. 3:30.
So I know, thank you for staying up late. I know it's your bedtime, past your bedtime. So grateful. So grateful.
You know, I do want to let people know that you can get more Sister Jenna. Her website is meditationmuseum.org. Meditationmuseum.org. And she's actually got something really special that's going to be happening on Monday, the day after tomorrow. She's going to be doing a special event. It's a course in meditation that begins on Monday. It's going to go for 5 days. 5 days. Oh, no, is this the right one? June 21st?
It's the Raj Yoga meditation course from Monday to Friday at 11 to 12 EDT.
Got it. Okay. So you can learn all about it by going to meditationmuseum.org, click on the homepage, and then go to her online courses. And what a beautiful offering. Thank you so much, Sister Jenna. You took us into an amazing space just now. I mean, what a 1-2 punch. Kristen's music and your vision with your beautiful voice. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Okay. Wow. That was incredible. And now we have more incredible. I am so honored to invite my next guest and long-term dear friend, Keishi Chai. She is going to be sharing a beautiful dance, very special, because this dance is in alignment with our theme tonight. But first, let me just tell you a little bit about Keishi. Keishi is a New York City-based performer, theatrical director, teacher, trainer, and award-winning designer. She co-founded the professional dance company and school Belly Queen, and she tours all over the world with this incredible dance troupe, Belly Queen, and Pure, which means Public Urban Ritual Experiment, which I had the honor of weaving a show with Keishi where I created live music, and it was all about body image. My goodness, was it powerful. Every time I would play, I'd just be crying. And Public Urban Ritual Experiment has a global community focused on healing and social change through dance and music. Keishi is going to be sharing this piece as I was telling before, and it is called Awakening. I got to see a little bit during our sound check, and I know we are all in for a mystical experience. Here we go.
Hello.
Keishi, that was gorgeous. Oh, so symbolic and so deep. Would you like to share about your dance?
Sure, it would be my pleasure. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for your focus. Thank you, Kristen, for inviting me. I have been looking forward to this with a lot of anticipation and really excited about learning from the wisdom of these amazing people and souls that you have gathered. And so So much gratitude. This dance, Awakening, is about the mask that we wear to be accepted by society. My own personal story is that years ago, I was attending a theatrical dance workshop, and we were asked to share a challenging time in our life. And so I decided to talk about my father passing from cancer. And one of my fellow students took me to the side afterwards, and she said, "Did you know that entire time you were talking about your father, that you were smiling?" And I just wanted you to know that. And this was an acting theater workshop. And I realized at that moment that the smile was something that I had built up as a protective mechanism. So when I was uncomfortable, then I would just start doing that. And so part of awakening for me is learning to shed some of what we deem as the type of persona we need to put on in order to be accepted. In 2021, selfie culture is an issue where we take photographs of ourselves and then we put it through a whole series of different filters. And so it's very pervasive. It's something that many of us struggle with. I know it's an ongoing journey, and it's one that I've been learning a lot from and slowly peeling away the layers of the onion. Yeah.
Keishi, thank you so much. I'm noticing in the chat room a lot of people are, just talking about how beautiful, graceful, and it's really it's unique that we're able to have people of your caliber actually dance live on our show. It's a very unique quality. So I'm really grateful that Kristen invited you, and I sure hope you'll come back and bless us again. Yeah. And she's got a few websites, so I'm going to bring up her promotional postcard. Keishi.com. For those of you listening but not able to see, it's spelled Kaeshi.com. Keishi.com. But there's also pureglobe.org, bellyqueen.com, and naturestories.world. Keishi, is there anything you want to mention about any of those particular sites?
Sure. I need to update them. Naturestories.world is something I've been working on more recently, the last couple of years. So we focus on creating interesting stories where science and art are united for a collective vision, edutainment. So this is something I'm looking forward to diving more into now that some of the restrictions from the pandemic is starting to lift.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for all that you're doing. And I hope you can stay, watch a little bit more of the show. And we absolutely would love you to come back soon and give us another dance. It really was just delightful. And I'm turning it back over to your friend, Kristen.
Okay. Yes, Keishi, that was just gorgeous. And actually, in the after show, stick around because Keishi and I decided we're going to open the after show with a sonic solom prayer, and Keishi's going to be improvising as I also improvise. It's going to be one big improvisational heart opening prayer. So please stick around for the after show. Much love, Keishi. And now it is my great honor to invite my dear friend, mentor, guide, Oscar Miro Quesada Solevo to the screen. Oscar, I don't even know how to say in words the magnificent, bright, inspirational spirit of light, star being that is Oscar. From the first moment I met Oscar on an evolutionary leaders retreat, it was, I would say my heart just loved him with all of its vastness at first sight. Oscar is the real deal. Oscar is a respected, Oscar, tell me if I'm saying this right, Kamasca curandero and Alto Miasayok, kind of, you're going to have to say that, adept from Peru, founder of the Heart of the Healer, otherwise known as Thoth, originator of Pachacuti Mesa tradition, cross-cultural shamanism, an internationally acclaimed shamanic teacher and healer, earth-honoring ceremonialist and author, Don Oscar is OAS Fellow in Ethnopsychology and member of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle and Birth 2012 Welcoming Committee. Oscar, it is with great excitement that I turn this over to you. Please bless us with your take on the Great Awakening. Help us to step deeper into this balance that we're talking about.
Napakuyay ki runakunak suyakuning tiayukui parmicha. Kristen, thank you so much, Kristen, for opening up the sanctity and beautification of this gathering to multiple visitors, both seen and unseen, that in the shamanic traditions of my people of Peru, our relations are part of our evolving being one with all. I recall that time at Ghost Ranch where you requested spending a little time with me, and we held hands and gazed into each other's eyes, the windows of the soul, and recognized each other from many, many, many past lifetimes, and bonded at a level of service that was impeccable in terms of its humility and its simplicity, and most important, its source, which was Munai, unconditional love, unlimited caring. For in the shamanic traditions, not only of my people, but throughout the world, we understand that the shamanic arts basically evolved or originated from the human impulse to care for something other than oneself in equal measure and often more than one needs to care for oneself. And when it comes to this beautiful subject that we are now exploring of the Great Awakening in the Pacocuna and the Kamasca traditions of the Andes, we know of these prophecies called the Taripaipacha, the era of re-encounter, in which people from all walks of life, ideological persuasions, cultural backgrounds, and whatever origins they have, earthly or non-earthly, will gather together at the table of the Pachayachachik, the world teacher, which is none other than oneself. Yet to be invited to that banquet, one must understand that this life, at least in the understanding of the people of Peru, the Aboriginal peoples of Peru, this life really is a preparation for our next life. And therefore, the current problems that we are experiencing worldwide are fundamented or based on the fact that we've become estranged from the sacred dimensions of life. And we have been thrust into this hypnotic slumber that Bruce and Elizabeth so beautifully articulated earlier, in which scientific materialism and religious fundamentalism and the most pernicious of all the isms of all, capitalist determinism, has taken over our connection with Great Spirit. And I want to offer this small little prayer that encapsulates that understanding. And it goes like this. We understand that there's 5 principal attributes that we are to develop as we are born in preparation for the death. And the death is this, the death of the ego, the letting go of self-importance, narcissism, and self-absorption. And they consist of Yankai, which is right action, Munai, which is unlimited love, Yuyai, which is spirit remembering, and Yachai, which is wisdom beyond intellect, and Hunyui, which is to unite. And there's a saying that is Aing Ruaikuna, Pakarishka, Munaimanta, Nunamanta, Yachaimanta, Hunyunakung. And it translates into right action born of compassionate spiritual wisdom unites. And this is integral to walking a path of balance in life. So we talk about personal freedom and our own values and what feeds us as individuals and how to bring that into balance with a greater, more altruistic collective vision. Well, the key to that is to exist as an extended family, or Ayu, which is a family that not only is bonded by kinship and blood, but also by purpose and meaning in one's desire to serve Pachamama, to be an emissary of beautification and sanctification of the earth. And ritual and ceremony is a very, very important aspect of that. So therefore, in every Ayu, every person has a particular ritual obeisance or some duty that they are to do that not only ensures that the protection of the ancestor spirits and of the animistic, soul-laden, infused natural world that we know as Mamapacha, for we understand that everything has soul, everything has consciousness, everything has a wisdom and a sentience, which all we need to do is quiet ourselves and listen, and great wisdom will be imparted. And therefore, through our ritual duties or obligations in feeding these spirit beings, various ways of feeding them involve beautifully arranged artful offerings known as despachos or jaiwas or jaiwarikuis, and then offering them to fire so that the essence of the physical matter that is being offered becomes smoke and is elevated to higher, more refined vibrational levels of nourishment for the spirit beings that are our protectors. So as long as we bring ritual into our lives, we can eliminate the disparity there is between our own material need as individuals and the calling of spirit. We are in the midst of a massive birth of countless peoples are being awakened to the fact that we are here at a crucial period in our lives that require a death of the ego, a death of self-importance, and a death of individualism. And if we die before we die, then when we die, we won't have to die, is the saying. Now, there are 5 other principles because within the Andean cosmology, there's a great pentagonic basis. The number 5 features thoroughly, and it has to do with really the 5 states of matter, the 5 states of, like in the Platonic solids, the 5 dimensions really that are being pulsing through us to be expressed as ethics, as moralities, and a life of selfless service born of heartfelt reverence for our earth is what is behind this. So there's no need to be rescued by anything outside of yourself. As a matter of fact, there's no such thing as an outer liberation. Liberation can only come from within. That said, I'd like to also offer the following prayer for everybody to receive into their hearts. And to this, I ask you to ceremonialize and ritualize this little experience by placing both of your palms to the screen, please, and allowing the following Runa Simi words to fill your hearts Receive them through your hands, together with this wilkanina. So allow yourselves to touch the transformative, purifying flames of this sacred fire. Take a couple of deep breaths through the nose. Gently close your eyes and receive. Haili wilka hanak pachamanta saiwa. Tiyayukui teksemuyuk hatum kaipang. Sumak wilka pachakamak. Nyokakmi songkoipi tupakui kausaipi kawakui. Hamaina siwarkenti songkotikak. Futuinin ta apu punakunak. Kausay niyo, munay niyo, kanchay niyo. Amuray ko ina. Nyokay ko kanchay pa, runakuna pachamamak. Churingkuna, chaskakuna. Haili ayu runakuna teksemuyok. Hampi kamoyokuna aknana muyupi. Hatung waikahapa hinaya. Exhale all the air from your lungs. Hold on the exhalation. Take a deep breath through the nose, filling your lungs to capacity. And as you do so, scoop up this evolutionary transformational fire, bringing both of your hands to your heart space and retain the breath, crystallizing it in consciousness. Gently exhale through the nose and allow both of your hands to remain open to the above. And loosely translated, that Quechua or Nasimi prayer means the following in terms of our great awakening that merges our individual freedom with our collective vision. For there's no such thing as a separation between self and other. We are now moving from an I am me to an I am all. Capital I and capital M in that case. The prayer is praises and victory to the sacred shaft of light from the heavens. Welcome, great power of the universe. Sublimely sacred creative source of all worlds, meet yourself in our hearts, see yourself in our lives. Please, royal hummingbird of the above, bring the blossoming of the flower into the heart of humankind. With life, with love, and with light did we come here. We are the people of light and children of the earth, born of the stars. Praises and victory to all our relations within this great awakening ceremonial hoop. So mote it be. One last deep breath. Bringing left palm over to right shoulder, right palm over to left shoulder, retain. And on the count of 3, blow forth back into the screen in Aini, in sacred reciprocity, to remain in balance between self and cosmos. 1, 2, 3. Thank you all for allowing this brief ritual alignment with the wisdom teachings of my ancestors. Amayuya, don't lie. Amakeya, don't be idle. Amasua, don't steal. Amachikui, don't envy. Amakesachai, don't harm. Those are the 5 principles of right action. Thank you so much, my beloved.
Thank you, Oscar. That was I have to say this, I think, is the most experiential edition of Saturday Night Live. Every person, I'm like feeling you all so deep. I've cried 3 times already, including just now as you were taking us through that experience. So if my voice is cracking, it's because I'm so deeply touched. Thank you, Oscar. And I always want people to know like how we can get more of these incredible wisdom keepers. Oscar, tell us about the shamanic apprenticeships that are available. And everybody can go to theheartofthehealer.org, theheartofthehealer.org. But Oscar, tell us about this opportunity.
Certainly. Well, through the Heart of the Healer, we offer beginning, intermediate, and advanced apprenticeships, or initiations, better said, into what is known as the Pachacuti Mesa tradition. Pachacuti means cosmic transformation or world reversal. It is about aligning oneself and befriending the inherent transformational aspect of life, understanding that when we are able to find harmony in change, in flux, in growth, and in expansion, therefore our lives are directed by the same processes that are behind the universe and the creative wisdom of Great Spirit. And they involve a lot of earth-honoring rituals and healing techniques and pilgrimages to sacred sites. And it's a wisdom corpus that allows a person to be initiated into what is known as the great work and become a golden link in the Audia Catena, in the golden chain of initiates that has existed on this planet since time immemorial and held very sacred by not only aspirants, but initiates of this process of self-transformation that is shamanic in its origins.
Wow. Well, I want to encourage everybody to go to heartofthehealer.org. Oscar, thank you so much for being with us, and I sure hope you'll come back again soon. Your medicine is so powerful, and we need it at this time in our world. Thank you. Speaking of wonderful medicine, I want to acknowledge our ongoing sponsor, Jay Mayer, and Light Touch. And, you know, as we talk about the Great Awakening, as we're having all of these experiences, Light Touch is a wonderful way to have a deeper experience of tuning into your body and awakening. And here's a short video to talk a little bit more about how we can all practice Light Touch.
Blessings to all Light Touch partners. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for blessing our blessings. Miracles, blessings, blessings. May my Light Touch partner be blessed. Thank you for divine love. Thank you for divine love. 10,000 thank yous. Thank you. Times 10, times 10, times 10, times 10. Thank you for divine appointments and meaningful synchronicities for transforming my relationships. Thank you for spiritual wellness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for miracles and good fortune. Thank you for exponential financial blessings. Thank you for divine love. For divine love. May all my relationships be blessed. May all my relationships be blessed. May all my relationships be blessed.
Beautiful. And want to encourage people, if you want to learn more about Light Touch, please reach out to Jay, to Jan, to the Light Touch team. We all do it every day. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And speaking of a beautiful thing, here is the wonderful Kristen to tell us about our next beautiful thing on the show.
Oh, thank you. Oscar, that was absolutely deep, profound, helped me, and I know everyone here to reconnect to source and to the heart of Gaia and to ourselves. Thank you, thank you. And our next incredible performer is Stephanie Carlin. Stephanie is a musical sage who presides over a multidimensional platform as speaker, singer-songwriter, and spiritual healer. She's on a mission to empower people to shed self-doubt and discover their truth. She is the founder of Truth School, a business strategy and spiritual leadership program that helps artists be trailblazers in their industry. And on a personal note, I have to say, I love Stephanie with all my heart. We have had the opportunity to weave together for years now, and she is an incredible leader, healer who really uses music as a powerful vehicle to help us remember our strength, our vision, our empowerment. And Stephanie is going to share a brand new song tonight that she just released, which I thought was perfect to fit with this theme, called Recipe for Freedom. Stephanie, welcome.
Wow.
Woo!
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you, first of all, welcome to our show. First time that
Thank
you've been
you.
with us, and certainly will not be the last. And sweetheart that you are, Stephanie, you have created something special for our viewers. I'm going to share screen on it right now. Tell us about what you are offering.
Thank you so much for having me on this show, Scott and Kristen. And I wanted to make sure you guys could stream Recipe for Freedom, but I also wanted to give you an unreleased, very special meditation that I made. It's only 4 minutes long, and it immediately drops you into theta brainwave state for manifestation. So I'd love for you to drop your name and your email, and I can email that right over to you tonight. And that's my gift to you.
Great. And Stephanie, you may want to put your microphone up a little bit. Your volume dropped when you were speaking just now.
Thank you.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, everybody, you want to go to StephanieCarlinPrograms.com. I'm going to spell it out for you. It's Stephanie with a PH. So it's StephanieCarlin, Carlin, programs.com, StephanieCarlinPrograms.com. And then what happens is, as you see what I'm doing, you put your name in and you put your email address in there, and then something very wonderful comes right back to us. Do try to see how fast that is. So thank you, Stephanie. That's really generous of you. And to thank you, I'm sure, and to close out and transition to our next one, here's your compadre, Kristen.
Oh, Stephanie, that was so powerful. I'm seeing amazing chats coming in. Someone was saying that was pure Kali rising, and I couldn't agree more. Just thank you. I felt that recipe for freedom being stirred and simmered and all of the aromas that were rising up. So thank you for sharing your beauty, and we look forward to more. Actually, speaking of more, we're going to be sharing another one of Stephanie's new songs and incredible video for this song in the after show. And the song is called Goddess, and it is another power hitter of empowerment. You will really feel it. So stick around for the after show and you'll get to dive into another one of Stephanie's incredible pieces. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for having me, Scott and Kristen.
Have a great night. Okay, so we are going to meet Elizabeth Sartoris now. For those of you who weren't here for the pre-show, Elizabeth was in an incredible dialogue with Bruce Lipton, and this also will be again replayed in the after show. So if you missed it, stick around because it is a don't miss. But we are blessed with Elizabeth, solo Elizabeth, and I'm just in such awe of you, Elizabeth. As I was watching you again in the pre-show, I realized, wow, this woman has a lot of knowledge that can help us to tune into this idea of the Great Awakening and the balance from a scientific perspective, which I think is really important to feel that balance of the science and the spirit, which you do so well. So I just want to read your bio again. Elizabeth Sartoris is an evolution biologist, futurist, speaker, author, and sustainability consultant to businesses, government agencies, and other organizations. She has a PhD from Dalhousie University in Canada, and she is just an all-around beautiful being. Thank you for blessing us with your wisdom tonight, Elizabeth. I turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, my sweet hummingbird, my darling sweet hummingbird.
Yes, my condor. We even have loving nicknames for each other.
And it was wonderful to hear Don Oscar talk and share his beautiful Andean tradition, which has been so important to me too. Being a kind of spirit mom to Puma Kispe Singona, who is doing all kinds of workshops online now, as one of the most highly trained medicine men in the whole of the Andes. So, wow, where do I start? Back to my evolution biologist hat. From the pre-show and after show, I think probably the most important thing I wanted to get across was my keyboard metaphor for who each of us is and who the whole universe is, what the whole universe is. Just thinking of an endless keyboard as a sequence of vibrations going from low on the low keys to the high keys or the high keys to the low keys, depending on which way you look at it. And what's interesting about that is that different sciences in different parts of the world and in different histories have looked at the universe from different perspectives. And the keyboard is what unifies it all for me, because Western science starts at that low key end of the keyboard in the world of matter, defining reality as a material world, and then has moved up into the electromagnetic energy part of the mid-range. And then Einstein showed us you can transpose the music up and down that keyboard. But when they try to go further up the keyboard, they get lost because they depend on matter, which means that once they decided it was all matter, it had to be measurable by material instruments. And their instruments can't measure the non-physical high end of the keyboard. So they're kind of stuck. However, Vedic science and Taoism and lots of indigenous sciences start at the other end of the keyboard, where you start with a universe of the highest possible vibrations, a sea of vibrations in which some waves slow down, and they can derive the whole keyboard by slowing it down through energy and matter to matter. So when we talk about integrating science and spirit, I say, why did you take it apart? It never was separate. And if you just use that simple metaphor of the keyboard, you see what that means, that you are not a body with a soul, but a body, mind, soul. So for the vision of the future, I think my favorite model is called ecosophy. Now, the words ecology and economy both come from the Greek word ekos, spelled O-I-K-O-S in English. So the ecos with the logos is ecology, and that's the organization of the household. The ecos and the nomos, the household and the law, gives us economy. We have built a human economy that's superior to ecology, that sees ecology just as a vast set of resources for our consumption. And the only thing we have to do is turn that upside down and fit our economy into the ecology. And then we get the wise household, the wise society. I call ecosophy, for household, ecos, and Sophia, wisdom. So that's a simple way to look at what we have to do. We have to build an economy that does not do any damage to nature, and we know how to do it. So one of the things in my vision of the future is something I learned from indigenous cultures. I have met many of them, and not a single one of them ever had private property, because they see the earth as the sacred mama. And you wouldn't cut her into pieces and say, this is mine and this is yours. What kind of a weird concept is that, right? So I think we need to learn, going back to that, the way we can learn some of the wonderful democratic principles from the Haudenosaunee. We can learn from all indigenous cultures that scratching lines on the ground to say, I own this and you can't come on it, that is the first inequity humans built among themselves. When this is mine and you can't have it, there's a fence. Now, I don't have a big problem with fences if you're keeping out foxes from your chickens or whatever, but the property, we all need space. And in nature, you see all of the animals and birds and fishes having their territory, and they're in charge of that territory, and then they're in service to that territory. They can't leave it worse off than whatever development you do is supposed to improve it. I grew up on family farms where the water table got higher and the soil got richer from the recycling of plants and animals feeding each other. There was no damage done, and the food got more and more abundant. So it's another part of my vision. Obviously, we need to go back to local food, and science has now proven that it's much more efficient, and you can grow far more food in combined food forests and permacultures, and putting different species together and letting the chickens scratch among the plants, and then they fertilize it and all that. So we know how to do it. We know how to do all of that. And the other thing that we really need, of course, is one of my favorite models for people living right on the planet comes from Sri Lanka, from the Sarvodaya culture in Sri Lanka, where it's a Buddhist culture of helping each other self-develop rurally. And what they teach every child is to meditate on two things: inner peace and generosity. If I'm a peaceful person, what do I have to give to others? It's even better than the golden rule in a way. It's a beautiful concept, simple, inner peace and generosity. I'm a peaceful, happy, joyful person, and I give to all of you. And if everyone were doing that, no one would be in want. There wouldn't be any othering. There wouldn't be anyone left out. So those are, I think, my favorite principles for the future. And they leave a lot of room for individuals to find their own way and to express themselves. In fact, there's so much more room for self-expression when you don't have to constantly scrabble so hard for a living and compete with each other for jobs and all that. When everybody is doing all of the different things that we do, we can have anything we want in our culture, providing it does no harm. And we are such creative beings that we can do that. we are all the imaginal cells now getting over this predatory caterpillar world and transforming, metamorphosing into the mature way of being in nature, not the immature hostile competition, even though it was very creative and we can draw on it for ideas. We now are moving ourselves into that wonderful new phase where we're all giving to each other and we're living butterfly lightly on the earth. So thank you all for having me here. It's been such a pleasure to be with Bruce again and with my hummingbird and with all of you who have contributed. What a great program you've put together. Bless you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. And a reminder, if you missed her conversation with Bruce at the start of the show, stick around because we're going to show it again. It was so powerful during our after show. And I also would love for you, Elizabeth, to tell us a little bit about this wonderful book, Gaia's Dance, The Story of Earth and Us. And I love the tagline, a children's book for grown-ups. Tell us about this.
Yeah, this book is actually the sort of updated and much condensed version of an earlier book I wrote called Earth Dance, Living Systems in Evolution. And because I've always been really bad at promoting myself, I forgot to even put my website on that little postcard. But my website is real easy, mylastname.com, Satouris, SAHTOURIS.com. It's simple.
I'm guessing you're Greek or of Greek heritage?
I have Greek heritage, yes, indeed, and lots of others. I'm a kind of Euromut.
My grandfather, when he came over from Greece, he was a Greek of Russian descent.
You have a Greek name, yes.
Katamerchanopoulos was the original name. Katamerchanopoulos. So
That is definitely a mouthful.
what about Satouris? I said, I think somewhere we've got relatives in our
In Greek, it's Sachturi, right?
Really? That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. That was incredible. Beautiful. Thank you for your sharing and your wisdom. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. It's time for Wisdom Jewels, Kristen.
Woo! Wisdom Jewels. This is going to be fun.
You know, so most of you probably know that every week now we've got this wonderful feature. Jay and his partner Jan put together Wisdom Jewels, so they choose quotes that connect to the theme. So let's see which quotes they chose for our theme of this week. Oh, that was beautiful, huh?
That was beautiful. Yeah, and I saw a lot of our guests on there from past shows, and Bruce was on there tonight.
Absolutely. So big thanks. He's not going to speak, but I'm going to put Jay on for a minute just to say thank you to Jay Mayer, who creates so many of the videos that you see, most of the videos, and the Wisdom Rules. Thank you, Jay. Wonderful job. Thank you. Kristen, this show is just...
I am having the best time. It just feels like one heart-opening wisdom experience after another.
Absolutely. Well,
What a gift. What a gift.
you're a gift. And already, Kristen and I are already planning the next show that we're going to do together in August.
Yay!
If you're loving her, and everybody's saying, oh my God, I love Kristen. She's such a great co-host. So we're really excited about that. And I really want to encourage everybody. This is our first episode of season 6. And we're calling it season 6, an incredible mix. And we do have an incredible mix of guests, topics, and shows coming up. And we really want to encourage all of you, please tonight, register for the season. So if you're watching on Facebook, if you are watching on one of our YouTube channels, and also I want to acknowledge that about 25% of the people now who watch our show, Kristen, are watching the replay on YouTube.
Yes.
On one of our Facebook pages. So please come to globalpeacetribe.com and register. And that way we have your email address and we can share with you all about the upcoming shows that are happening. You'll get access to all the replays. This is like close to the 70th show we've done. So we've got this incredible library of amazing presenters and performers. And just to give you a little taste of what's going to be coming up, we've got, of course, we're going to bring back some of our favorite presenters like Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, Greg Braden, who you just saw a quote from. Chief Phil Lane was on last week, Reverend Michael Beckwith. And of course, there's our beloved Kristen Hoffman. If you take a look right in the middle, right in the center is Kristen.
There she is.
There she is, along with Nina Gray.
That Kristen Hoffman.
Well, you really have become such a central part of our show. It's people like you, Cornflower, Larissa Stowe, Marianne Williamson, Reverend Michael. I mean, you really have become like the heart and soul of...
I'm so grateful, Scott. And you and Deborah have created something truly incredible. The fact that you've done it every single week for 70 weeks, that is quite a feat. And just, I give it up to you. Really incredible work.
Well, it will continue. And you know, of course, every show is different. This really is, Kristen, the most, for me, the most experiential show we've had. I had cried 3 times a third of the way into the show. You know?
I know. It's incredible. Everyone's sharing wisdom and inviting those who are watching into a deep experience, which I love. I love that mix of speaking from a place of knowledge, yet imbuing viewers with something that goes even deeper. And that really helps us to connect.
Absolutely. And it's going to continue through the summer. And you know, we really range. We're going to do a show on July 17th on racial and social justice with Pato and Antoinette as my co-hosts, doing what you're doing tonight. We've got a show on July 24th where we're going to go deeper into addiction and recovery. We've got a show on July 31st where we're going to go into whole body fitness, and so it continues. And which is see what Kristen and I are cooking up for August 14th. We're going to do another show about death and dying. And I want to take a moment now to show the promo video, which Jay just put together today. Thank you, Jay. For next week's show, which is all about what's happening, this incredible movement that's happening where we really are. Disclosure is out. The government has acknowledged there are unidentified aerial phenomena. It's clearly extraterrestrial. And now we as citizens are coming together to create our own citizens' diplomacy. And next week, we're going to kick off and announce some really big announcements about how organizations from all over the world are coming together. So here's a promo all about what you're going to experience next week. What an extraordinary individual this man is. He has been fighting the good fight for so long, for decades. And it seems like whenever there is a significant case where the little guy is going up against the government or against the corporation, Danny's the one representing people. And he's been doing it a long, long time. Karen Silkwood and Pentagon Papers way back, and Standing Rock, and of course what we're going to be primarily talking about now with Lou Elizondo.
So he contacted me in that capacity, knowing full well who I was and what my objectives were. And so we had a series of meetings, and he was satisfied that I should represent him. And so we launched a counterattack against the Pentagon and prepared a major complaint against the people inside the Pentagon and the Defense Department, arguing that they were lying.
Night vision video from a Navy destroyer, a mysterious flying triangle above the deck of the ship. The Pentagon confirming the images obtained by documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell were taken by Navy personnel, expected to be a part of a report on unidentified aerial phenomenon to be presented to Congress this summer. But some of the objects go beyond just flying in the sky. One shows a spherical object dipping into the ocean, similar to an incident in Puerto Rico where an object was tracked buzzing an airport, then flying into the water, popping back out before appearing to split into two and disappearing. Over the last several weeks, some of the nation's top former intelligence officials have been raising eyebrows.
Look at that thing. It's rotating.
From disclosure to diplomacy, coming together to create planetary and interplanetary relationships. And we have a remarkable all-star group of presenters, led by our good friend Mark Sims. We have Danny Sheehan, the lawyer for Louis Elizondo, who's at the heart of things and has been meeting with the Pentagon and the Inspector General. Steve Bassett, one of the leading voices in citizens diplomacy and the galactics. Whitley Streiber, the author of Communion and one of the founding fathers of the entire movement. Rebecca Hardcastle-Wright, making her first appearance on Saturday Night Live. Sylvain Rochon, who's part of a large consortium to create an embassy for our galactic family. And our good friend and co-host for the show, Alan Steinfeld. Coming all the way from Europe, Marina Serena, an exquisitely interesting 19-year-old experiencer. And some of our favorite musicians. Cornflower will be with us once again. And the voice of our trailer, Larissa Stowe. Hosting the show once again will be myself and Deborah Giusti. So join us on Saturday night, July 10th, for one of the most important shows we've ever done. Yeah, it's going to be quite a show. And again, we really appreciate Mark Sims and Danny Sheehan. They've been working very, very hard to make it happen. And now I'm really excited about Kristen introducing our next guest, which is going to be a video guest, but very much worth it. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yes, our next guest is Kwajo Spiri. He is a dear friend. We originally met in Ethiopia on a Unity Earth trip where we were both sharing music. And I just felt the power of his positive hip hop. He really transmutes love, light, peace, awakening through such an important form of art these days, especially. Kwajo Spiri is Ghanaian born, He's a conscious musician and record producer, and he imbues in his music African folklore, tribal and foreign elements with a hip hop feel. This blends into a new genre of music he refers to as Afro-hop. And we're about to check it out. Here is Kwajo Spiri.
Recording.
Kwajo Spiri. I am so glad that you're joining us. Thank you for being here. Kwajo is the most incredible, inspirational hip-hop artist. And coming from Ghana, you have just been moving so many hearts and souls with your message of positivity and love and peace. I am just in awe of your mission, your musical mission. And speaking about the Great Awakening, in your music, you talk so much about looking around and coming together and rising up. Would you like to talk for a minute about your personal mission with music and how you feel this Great Awakening happening in your life and around in the world?
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you for having me on Saturday Night Alive. I'm so grateful and I'm happy, to share a few things with you. Hi, Scott. It's nice to meet you too. Yes, Kwajo Spiri, I'm from Ghana, and yes, I'm a conscious hip hop artist from this part of the world. And yes, the Great Awakening, what does it mean to me? It means a lot to me because currently, like for the past, 2 or 3 millennia, the world has been experiencing this Great Awakening in a lot of ways. And day in, day out, people jump onto this wonderful path which leads them inward and upward to experience more, more than what we see in normal or ordinary life. In my life, I've experienced the awakening in a lot of ways. I've been on this spiritual path for, I can count as many as 14 to 15 years. And it's been the greatest journey in my life. It's been the greatest decision I've made in my life. I've made a lot of decisions in my life, but the decision to discover more of me, the decision to align to that powerful force within me has been the greatest decision I've ever made in my life because it has led me into all kinds of wonderful experiences, all kinds of dichotomic experiences, worst and best. I'm saying? The world currently is experiencing what we individually as spiritual people, are experiencing individually in our lives. But by looking at what I'm experiencing in my life personally, I can actually forecast what the world will experience in the long run. We as artists have a big responsibility in this world. Actually, we have a lot of work to do because most of the happenings in this world are actually founded on spiritual power. As artists and as spiritual people, we are very powerful in the sense that the kind of energy we throw out there brings back a lot of happenings individually and on the global scale. Activities and happenings which people are not even aware of. For instance, when we come together, as conscious people, as positively minded people, as artists who do conscious music, who do positive music, the energy we project out there is what has made this world see a lot of progress in a lot of ways. Scientific progress, intellectual progress, material progress, all kinds of progress. I don't know how to explain it, but scientists cannot even have most of the ideas they have without the work of individual spiritual people. The work of ancient spiritual men have contributed immensely towards the massive 20th century, 21st century industrialization. In a sense that there is a massive pool of knowledge, which we call the global or the collective consciousness, which all minds are actually tapped into. The works of spiritual people refine this collective consciousness constantly on a daily. But they are wonderful ideas. They are wonderful, beautiful, massive ideas, which are actually in this collective. Ideas which human beings, when we are able to tap into, can improve the life of the individual and can improve the life of the collective. But, in order to dislodge these ideas from the collective, it requires spiritual power. mere intellectual power or material power is not strong or powerful enough to dislodge these beautiful ideas in the collective, so that men's minds can tap into and do amazing things on earth for people to benefit from. It requires spiritual power. That is why the work of spiritualists or the work of spiritual artists is very crucial. It's very crucial in the sense that when we do music or when we meditate, when we sit to do all these spiritual practices, we throw a lot of powerful energy out there into the collective, and it dislodges ideas which, when it actually enters into our atmosphere, goes into minds which are ready to receive them. For instance, Kristen does a song called One Song Singing. Very beautiful, very powerful song, a song which actually, throws a lot of positive energy out there. The energy from some of these wonderful songs and wonderful practices from spiritual people dislodges ideas which scientists can actually tap on and do amazing things. For instance, scientists invent things like, machines, airplanes, and stuff like that. Ideas come from nowhere, which they are not even aware of. These ideas are actually the workings of spiritual people. The kind of energy we throw out there dislodges these ideas, brings them into our cosmos, and once it enters into our space, ready minds immediately tap into these ideas and then transform them into manifestation. So we have mechanization, we have industrialization, we have all these wonderful things around us. So our individual pursuit towards spirituality improves our individual lives. At the same time, it improves the collective in that it dislodges beautiful ideas which we all tap into, share to benefit us all. So the awakening, yes, it has been a journey through hell, but gradually it has become a beautiful journey, a very, very fruitful, awesome, blossoming journey, which I would encourage everyone to actually make efforts to activate in their lives. For it is the only one and true journey. It is the only journey which anybody can actually walk. It's the most important journey of all.
Kwadwo, thank you so much. It is the most important journey of all, the Great Awakening.
That's right.
That was so profound. Thank you for sharing. And now we are going to watch a very special video of Kwadwo's, a song called I Am. And Kwadwo, do you want to just give us one little taste about the song?
Yes, I am is a proclamation of who we truly are as spiritual beings or material beings, like spiritual beings on a material journey. I am is a manifestative song. It's a song which talks about who we truly are as human beings, as against what we normally see ourselves experiencing in this life. I am talks about me being a free spirit, walking the earth, experiencing the best I can experience as a spiritual being in a material world. I am is a manifestative song which, when you constantly recite, can pull beautiful and high frequencies into your life. So constantly your life gets transformed into something better. So yes, the I Am video is a very beautiful and a very perfect manifestation, or very perfect illustration of the great or global awakening which we are experiencing currently in our world.
Amazing.
So let's take a look at I Am.
Let's take a look. Here we go.
Isn't he beautiful? Oh my God, and his voice. Anyway, all right, I had to switch over to videos, and let's take a look at the beautiful I Am video.
They say let your light shine. If you don't, they don't recognize you. I spit fire to the people. I give light to the people, man, I shine bright. Illuminate your mind with a conscious sound. Made in Africa, the trumpet is blowing the drums and it's kicking, the sample is real. Liquid eyes on the shit. Soul affirmations repeated in your night, manifested in your life while it magnetized with your mind. This is medicine for the soul, and you probably gotta meditate to catch the flow. Got your spirit and inspiration on dope, laying on the bars like never before. Dissemination of the truth, growth, yes, for the soul. Love it or hate it, yo. I am a soul having a mortal experience, an invincible sound of the universe, the fountain of wisdom, a pure energy, manifesting my light, tuning into higher universal frequencies. Yo, I am a universal influence. Catch me on the positive side, positive energy. The flow is proton. We stay positive irrespective of crisis, waking up the amazing powers within. I am a naturally born leader. I'm spiritual, like a lighted candle, giving our light to all the candles on this platform. This cold world gets darker. We need your light to make it shine brighter. I am healthy, wealthy, prosperous, and blend science, religion, philosophy. These affirmations of the soul. Say it while you on the go, repeat it while you on the move to higher frequencies. Yo, I am a free spirit walking the earth. I am a manifestation of light. I am intelligence wrapped in a black body. I am magnificence. I am a free spirit walking the earth. I am a manifestation of light. I am intelligence wrapped in a black body. I am magnificence. I was born to display beauty and excellence. I bless the homies with rhymes, lines, raps on the rhythm. It's positive energy flowing through channels of rhythm. I am brilliance, intelligence, and creative musical genius, inspirational, strong, worthy of the respect. Surrendering myself to the highest purpose in life. Every day in every way I'm getting better in life. Salute the universal forces and powers living in the higher places in us. The super conscious mind makes you a precious one, a God in the making. Stop the cheap talk and embrace the walk. You is a God, homie. No blasphemy, Yeshua said the same in the chapters, the holy book. You is one with all of creation. Food for thought, you is a nation. Abundance is the makeup. Believe it, I'ma see it, I receive it, yo. Nature never rushes, but everything is accomplished. Don't compare your life to others, not a competition. It's okay to chase the money, but never forget the essence of life. An advice I received from a wise man who told me to transfer my values from this material world to the realest beyond the mind. I am, he said, the mysterious one. Look beyond the chaos when it hits you. There are perils on this road to Zion. I am a teachable student. I listen when I hear the truth. You can call me a billionaire. My soul is priceless. These affirmations of the soul, say it while you on the go, repeat it while you on the move to higher frequencies. Yo, I am a free spirit walking the earth. I am a manifestation of light. I am intelligence wrapped in a black body. I am magnificence. I am a free spirit walking the earth. I am a manifestation of light. I am intelligence wrapped in a black body. I am magnificence. I am a free spirit walking the earth. I am a manifestation of light. I am intelligence wrapped in a black body. I am magnificence. A free spirit walking the earth. Free spirit walking the earth. Manifestation of light. Manifestation of light. Intelligence wrapped in a black body. Wrapped in a black body.
Woo!
Wow.
Isn't that powerful?
You know, such a beautiful combination of a great beat, but the words and the message
Yes.
are powerful.
Yeah, Kwajo has such a great gift of really bringing through the positivity that he's expressing and that collective energy that he's expressing with such a great beat and so much enthusiasm. Seeing him play live, it just fills you with a full-on energy. It's incredible. I hope that we all get a chance to be together live one of these days. And
Well, you say that because I noticed that it was edited by Pato and filmed by Antoinette, who I was on the phone with for an hour today because we're planning the show we're all doing together on the 17th.
Yay!
The 17th, they're going to be in my area doing a concert, and they're going to come and be with me. I've rented a room in the resort where they're going to be. They're going to come in, be my co-host, sitting next to me physically.
Oh, that's great.
And then having a concert where I'm going to get to see them play and dance. So
they're so wonderful, and they just bring so much community and spirit everywhere they go. So you're lucky you're going to get to be together in persona.
And we're going to be with you in October when you come to Asheville.
Yes, that's going to be incredible. Should we share about Kwajo? Where can we find Kwajo?
We find Kwajo right here. I've got it all queued up. It's kwajospiri.herenow.com. So I'm going to spell that for everybody. And thank you, Debbie Johnston, for putting it in the chat box. It's Quadjo, spelled Kwadjo, Quadjo, Spiri, Spiri, .herenow.com. One last time, Quadjo, Spiri.herenow.com. And that's the website that he gave us to where people can get more of his music.
Yes, and we are going to be sharing his newest video called Soon Soon in the after show. So you will get more of Quadjo soon enough. And I think I'm turning it over to you. It's all you.
It's me. It's Global Peace Tribe announcements. We are one love, as we're experiencing tonight, just so much love in this incredible show that Kristen's put together. And I want to thank our broadcast partners. A lot of you right now are watching us on Unify. And we love Unify. We are increasing our collaboration with Unify. And we still want to invite you, if you're watching on Unify or any of our other broadcast partners, you can still come on into our Zoom room. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, www.globalpeacetribe.com. And God bless Unify for not only carrying us every Saturday night, but all the wonderful shows and work. In fact, they premiered Kristen's song that we heard tonight last week. And of course, they carried the World Unity Week. There's so many wonderful things that are going on Unify. So definitely make sure that you are tuned into Unify. We also want to thank John and Summer Raymer, our friends who run the Sign Network. Right now, there's about 100 Facebook groups and pages watching us because of John and Summer and the Sign Network. And our good buddy Alan Steinfeld, who has New Realities and his YouTube channel. I know that thousands of people watch us that way. Alan will be our co-host next week for the show that we're doing that you just saw the video on. Of course, Light Touch is our ongoing sponsor, which we're so grateful for. And then all the other people who carry us. Thank you to New Earth One, my company, Love Coach Academy, Earth Dance, Humanities Team, Portal to Ascension, Disclosure Fest, Global Days of Unity, Earthwalk, and the Enlightened World Network. These are all friends of ours and all part of this great global peace tribe that's coming together. You know, another reason that you want to register with us is so we have your email address and we can let you know about special events. Because now we started with one a month, including we had an amazing event with Kristen and Cornflower, the Sonic Source Activation. And our events have been so successful that we're now going to start doing 2 a month. And our next special event, just for Global Peace Tribe members only, is an evening of Magic Quest with Jeff McBride. Jeff is one of Las Vegas's top musicians. He actually personally taught Siegfried of Siegfried and Roy magic. He has worked with David Copperfield, teaching David. He's extraordinary. And when the pandemic happened, his show in Las Vegas, like all the shows in Las Vegas, was shut down. And so he came on board and started doing shows for us. And then when he went back into performing live, he has introduced us to many of his students, and you've seen them on our show. Last week we had Heather Rogers, one of his students. In fact, all of the magicians you've seen on our show have been students from Jeff McBride, and they're all brilliant. But Jeff is the master. And he is doing a private party just for Global Peace Tribe people on July 28th from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock Pacific time. Now, he gave me a little experience of what that's going to look like, and it's great. It actually is live from his home where he's going to do magic tricks with us. And it's a Zoom meeting. It's not a Zoom webinar. It's a Zoom meeting, which means we're all on camera. So he might do a magic trick with Kristen or any of the people that are live with us. So, which could be you. It's going to be really, really fun. Normally he charges $100 per person for VIP tickets, which is what we're getting. And he's giving it to us $22 per ticket for the people who register in the next 3 days. You've got till July 5th, and then after that it's $33. Take that in. Normally a $100 ticket. You can get it if you register tonight or the next couple of days for $22 or after July 5th for $33. But register now because there are a limited number of tickets and it's going to sell out. It's going to be a really fun show, and I'll be there. Darryl will be there. A lot of your favorite Saturday Night Live people are going to be there. It's going to be pretty cool. The last announcement that I want to make is just to invite you to my Sacred Sunday show. Every Sunday morning I do a show, and it's where I usually bring on some of my favorite people from Saturday Night Live that I want to go deeper with. On July 11th, it's going to be Eden Amadora. On July 18th, it's going to be Larissa Stowe, and so on and so forth. Well, tomorrow, my special guests are going to be you. I'm actually opening it up to our Global Peace Tribe family. But there is a theme, tomorrow being the 4th of July. Our theme is kind of carrying on what we started tonight, a new patriotism, finding freedom within ourselves while celebrating our great global tribe. So if you come into the Zoom room, and Debbie is putting the Zoom room link in, it's also on this little poster, come on into the Zoom room because I'm going to interact directly with all of you. And so it's going to be a really fun show. That's at 10 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow, Sunday, a very special way to celebrate the 4th of July. And those are our Global Peace Tribe announcements. And with that, I do want to just acknowledge that a big part of what we do is celebration. And again, Light Touch is all about celebration. It's about connecting to ourselves, appreciating ourselves, connecting to our beautiful body temple, doing prayers, doing affirmations. And so this next video is a celebration of Light Touch. And I want to encourage all of you while you're watching, go ahead, touch yourselves gently. Appreciate your beautiful body temple. We are so blessed to have these body temples where we can listen to music like Kristen. We can hear and experience all of the speakers. We have these beautiful senses because of this beautiful body temple. And this video that Jay created helps us to celebrate that. Thank you, Missy Galore. Thank you, Jay Mayer. Thank you, Light Touch, for that really fun video. And we have a really cool guest. He's been with us the whole show. I'm really appreciating that. And to tell us all about Nev, here is Kristen.
Oh, I feel so excited to share my beautiful dear friend from Australia, Nev Winkworth, with all of you. I first met Nev a few years ago when I was playing at an incredible festival in Byron Bay called the Fields of Healing. And immediately I felt how tuned in he is, how much he is coming from a place of service, really with a mission to help reconnect each of us to source and to the truth of who we are. And I'm just going to read his bio. Nev Winkworth is a profound spiritual awakening guide from Australia. Like many healers, Nev's passion and discovery for our ability to heal came via his own self-healing journey, experiencing a trauma that led to severe depression and anxiety. After hitting rock bottom and rebuilding his own health and life, and followed by a profound near-death experience, so began a deep fascination with the infinite healing possibilities available to us that that enable us to restore and experience more than we ever dreamed possible. Nev accesses what he calls the healing code, a form of white light healing that he utilizes in his signature process, connecting clients with white light from source, light, or God. This assists in dissolving irrational thought patterns, destructive cellular memories, and serves to energize the endocrine system. In addition to his own modality, Nev is a Reiki master and teacher, biofield tuning practitioner, and sound healer. I have had a few sessions with Nev, online sessions from a distance, and I cannot say enough about how much they have helped me to just clear in my field and really tune back into my path, and with a like fine tune my path. There's extra clarity after I've received a session with Nev. It's incredible. All of the kind of extra baggage is gone. So without further ado, Nev, I welcome you. Nev's going to lead us on an incredible experience.
No, thank you, Kristen, and everyone that's come before us today, everyone that's joining us now and on the replay. It's such an honor and very humbling to be able to share space and sharing these experiences to allow, maybe if you can just take a little bit of something from here, as I did at the beginning of my journey to where I am now. And this journey is forever unfolding into the greater spaces of expansion and awareness that never ever stop. You can take a little bit from here, then my job's done. I think the important thing before I start, yes, I did have a death experience. And at that point, and we can speak into this at another time, I got to experience something that we are, and we all often want to be out of our body. This thing called human, we are conditioned and have this feeling that there's so much pain and so much suffering. And we don't know what to do with that. No one's taught us how or what to do with that. And I was one of those. In that space that I got to experience, I call the blue space, where we are a drop of water in a pool of infinite drops, but we still have our own identity. It was amazing. I haven't got words to describe it, but I had the understanding that I got from there is that as beautiful as it is, we come here to be human. We come here to have the experience called human, because there we cannot taste an apple or have that experience of that crunch. We cannot have the experience of the wind blowing on our face or the sun on our hands, or to be intimate with another. Yeah, to feel pain, to feel suffering, to walk, to talk, to feel, to hold a cup, things we take for granted. We can't do that. We come here as the embodiment of that in the form that is called human, to have these experiences. Now, what I learned from this experience is that we've had many bodies. I call them cars or vehicles. Some of them fast, some of them slow. Some of them blow smoke. Some of them you got to jump through the passenger door window to get into the driver's seat. But the one who drives the vehicle remains the same. And when we can have an understanding on some level of that, this thing here that we call human in this experience as we are now becomes sacred. We start to understand that we are not this. This is just the vehicle. Yeah. And all our experiences moving forward become something else. We begin to awaken. We begin to live life instead of being lived by it. What do I mean by that? Well, most of us, including myself, our experience were based on past that we brought forward into the present as a projection into present, moving forward into the future from the past. It's the matrix. It's the illusion that we are this self, this body, but we're not. We're something that is far greater than that. We are pure in essence. And that which we are and that which I speak into is what each of us are in essence. And so at that point, there is no separation. As we return and begin to awaken, yeah, it's actually a remembering. It's the remembering of what we were before we got the name. When we were born and we incarnate, before we got the name, we were universal. And we see this in the eyes of children. Yeah, the hearing is universal, the seeing and the sensing is universal. It is new. Yeah, and we get the name, first name, surname. We live in a certain area. We have certain parents from certain countries. We live, we go to a certain school. And at that point, instead of being universal, we start to fragment. And then we become this identity, and you become this guy who's doing weird healing stuff. Okay, so you're over here somewhere. So what happens is that unknowingly we become disassociated from who and what we are, the essence of what we are. And we become removed from the awakened being that we are. But we must also understand that we have to have this experience as part of this experience called duality, so that when we come back to here, we have the deep appreciation for and the love for the experience that it is. Yeah. Then we enter into the sacredness of us. Then we begin to remember. I like to use this analogy that our hearing, instead of it being universal, and our seeing, it becomes internalized. We draw from past experience. And so if we've gone through a relationship breakup and we sit in a cafe with 100 people, 50 couples, and there's beautiful conversations. How are you, darling? Yeah, how was your day? The food is amazing. The waft of Ethiopian single origin, the food passing us, the sensory import, and the beauty that surrounds us everywhere. But because we've gone through a relationship breakup or a similar trauma, over in the corner over there is a couple that are having relationship issues. Our tuning, our internalized vision and hearing comes from a place from past, and it misses all the beauty, and it goes to them too over there, and it tunes into that, become tuned to that. We're no longer universal. And what happens then is we miss the beauty that's all around us, and the beauty that we are. And that beauty's always been there. But because of our conditioning and this internalized information or points of reference that we draw from, we become lost, we become removed, and we begin to not know who we are anymore. And so what I offer is the healing process, but we have to understand our environment. Yeah. And on top of that, we need to have the tools to navigate, because at the end of the day, we're still having a human experience. And shit's going to come up, yeah, and we're going to hit hurdles. But when we understand our environment and how to navigate the environment of the mind, the environment of everything around us, then it becomes easier. We have deeper awareness. And at that point, we're accessing that which is the awakened one. Okay, we start to move from a space of truth, understanding, and deeper knowing. It's the remembering. Yeah, we also remember that we are not an earthling. We are Mother Earth. She is us, and we are her. Okay. When we start to see this, then things are no longer separate. We move in a space that is us, no longer disconnected. But it is not of the mind, because this information that we are accessing is there before the mind anatomically rolled out and became part of the human. We were incarnate then. This is what we are accessing. This is the remembering. This is where the truth, the beauty, and the self-empowerment lies. So what I would like to do now, and we can talk for this for such a long time, and if anyone would like to, I'm always open to share. And so this is the part of the learning, understanding of the environment, very briefly what we've covered and shared. And so now what I'd like to offer you is an opportunity to understand that we're not our name. We're not this person. Yeah, we have a vehicle, an identity that we use to navigate, but before we got the name, we were someone else. So what I'd like to do is now offer an opportunity to have an experience. Yeah? And remember that this experience is unique to you. And for every other person, it's going to be unique to them. And that's what makes it sacred. Because on this journey, we are conditioned to make experiences that are ours similar. So if I go and eat crocodile, someone will say, that tastes like lemon and chicken, doesn't it? I go, no, it tastes like crocodile. And they go, yeah, but. And there's always this but to it. And so what happens is that we dilute the experience. We take away from it what it actually is to us, that which is sacred and is unique to us. And so I invite you as we go into this little space of exploration, where I'm going to bring you back into a space of, I term, coming back onto our radio station. Because picture a beam of light that runs through the top of us. With these lives and lifestyles that we have, and having to be this one and here for that one, and we become detached from who we are. So I liken it to be, instead of being clear and on the station, it's there's missing stuff, information happening there. So we come off our station. So this process that we're going to go through is going to bring you back in and on. What are you going to experience? Well, it's going to be yours. Some people are going to feel it. Some people are going to sense it. Some people are going to have nothing at all. It's going to meet you where you're at. Okay. So I'm going to invite you now, each of you, just to find your quiet space. So closing your eyes or having it open. Remember, this is a space of no longer is there right or wrong. There are only learnings in this space. Yeah? Nothing is right or wrong. That is duality. We only have learnings. How gentle and beautiful is that? Okay. So I invite you now to have your eyes either open or closed. Maybe even place your hand on your heart space if you're comfortable with that. And I bring you all in as a collective because we're not separate. We've just shared in that. And with your permission, I'll connect in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so as we just come into this space where the hand is, just sensing, feeling what that is. Beautiful. I want you just to allow it to slide away. You don't have to do it in any way. I'm going to say the name that you are, just let that slide away for a while. We're going to pick that up later, okay? Because we know who we are, okay? We're going to let that slide away. And the surname, you're just going to let that gently drop away, so let it slide away. And if we're male or female, that definition, let's just let that slide away from that. Beautiful. Auntie, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, friend, let that slide away. Anything else that you think you might be or might not be, let that slide away. Just let it drop away. You don't need to do anything. It'll slide just through the acknowledgement of it, the awareness of it. And we come back to this hand that sits in this space. Anything that's unseen, let that drop away. Let that drop away. And I'm just going to, I'll speak into this. And you may or may not feel this energy as it starts to come back into alignment. It will touch the top of your head. In some way or another. Some feel it as light, some feel it as heat, some feel it as pressure, some feel it as nothing. So with your permission now, we bring this energy, this alignment on the soul level to each and every one of you as it comes in. And it comes in at its own time as we start to just clear and remove any information and static that's there. Let it be seen, understood and removed. And as this beam of light touches the tops of each of your heads, and we'll feel when it comes into the collective, here it comes, just acknowledging it. And if you can't seem to feel it, your mind's looking for it, that's okay, let that slide away. And bringing this in, top of the head, feel that, yes, that's it there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We acknowledge this. This is ourselves, realigning with that which we are. We're going to allow this now just to, if you're not feeling it, that's fine. It's still happening. It'll come. There we go. There's already there. Bringing this down, this connection through the top of the head. Allowing it to fall down through the head, through the crown, through the ajna, throat chakra, into the heart space. And just wait for it to come and meet everyone here. And I laugh because I just noticed, just staying here, each of you where you are in this beautiful space as you are, just sensing the others that are here. That's it. And the ones that will come through the replay. This is a morphic field. And now I'll bring in an activation into your heart centers of each of you, meeting you where you're at, to feel the love and the light. Not love as you know, just this experience of pureness, the transmission to each and every one of you. That profound saying, pure love, pure light. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Here you are. Just notice. Just notice. Remember. 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 Because through experience, the mind cannot dance. Here we are. Okay, beautiful. And then just slowly coming back to this space that we are. This remembering, this feeling. Don't even let the mind try and describe that which it is. Just allow this. This is you. This is who we are. This is what we're here for. This is the remembering. When we move from here, the work is being done. It no longer becomes work. It becomes what we are. It becomes us as a whole. At this point, there is no separation. I love you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
you. I got to bring Kristen on too, just as we kind of share with people. First of all, I want to say I had this has been such an experience. I'm really struggling to talk because I really felt that. I felt like a whole wave literally come from this direction. It's amazing, actually. Okay, and I'd love for people to put in the chat box your experiences. It's always fun to read that. And there's a really wonderful opportunity. Okay, let me get my words together. Ground, Scott, ground. If you go to the website healingwithnev.com.au. Healingwithnev, Nev.com.au, because he's in Australia. But here's the really cool thing. He's offering a free 15-minute consultation for us. So this is really beautiful. I mean, imagine getting a free 15 minutes with this beautiful man. And so go to healingwithnev.com.au. And Kristen, as you said at the beginning, you had such an experience with him, yeah?
Yes. Even the other night when we were tapping in together about the show, I was having even a technological difficulty, and Nev tapped in with me for about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, right after, it resolved. Now, you could say that's coincidence, but I truly, truly feel Nev has a gift. He's like a portal, and he helps us to step in and smooth our energy and come into this place here that connects us all. Thank you, Nev. I totally felt that, and I know we all enjoyed the experience of remembering each other and the whole. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nev. Beautiful to have you on the show. And you know, it was he came on, we do our early show, kind of pre-show check-in 3.5 hours ago. And Nev has been with us the whole time, and I always appreciate, because we always have to find somebody powerful, you know, like to put on the show towards the end. And she said, Nev is amazing. And I was just so grateful for people like Nev who come on and are with us for 4.5 hours. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much for your dedication.
Yes. And I feel like Nev was holding the space and really keeping the sacred container this whole time. Yeah. So we felt it. We felt it.
During the music, I'd look at Nev, and Nev would be doing this, or he'd be music, you know. I mean, Nev, you really hold a very sacred container. So thank you, brother.
Okay. And we are here now to our last speaker of the evening. And what can I say? Dr. Jude Currivan is a bringer of great wisdom and light. She has a way of taking the most complex quantum physics ideas that would never make sense to a layperson like me, and she makes them digestible. She has a true gift for bringing the enthusiasm of the cosmos and all that she's able to see and understand with her mind in a way that we can connect to and that can help connect us. So it is my great honor to introduce Dr. Jude Currivan. She is a cosmologist, planetary healer, futurist, great author, and previously was one of the most senior business women in the UK. She is also the co-founder of Whole World View. Jude is going to bring us into a really exciting space, and she is in the UK. So we filmed this the other a couple days ago because it's the middle of the night for Jude. Here we go. Jude, it is such an honor to be here with you. I cannot tell you how much your presence and your friendship and your work has meant to me in my life, and I am so excited to be sharing you with the Saturday Night Alive community today. So thank you for being here.
Oh, Kristen, I could never say no to you, my dear friend. And I'm just so delighted because I know that this evening is going to be incredible because we have some other amazing friends joining us. So I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. So our topic tonight is one that I think is very present and important. I know you have spoken many times and looked around these days and noticed that there is a great awakening that is happening. I know it's hard sometimes to recognize this because there are also a lot of challenges during this time that we've had to face, and we've had to figure out how to do things in complete new ways, and there have been breakdowns and chaos, as I think you would probably might describe it. But ultimately, when we look deeper, when we look past the surface levels, I see a great awakening rising up. So many people coming together to share in light, in love, in a new understanding of working together. And once we go into this space of the Great Awakening, there becomes this question, I think, within ourselves and as a collective. How do we balance our personal levels of love, self-love, our need for our own understanding of freedom, our well-being, with the collective vision, with the whole? If we go too far into one direction, it can throw us out of balance. And if we are too self-consumed, also, we might miss this incredible awakening. Can you, from your unique perspective and experience, would you just talk to this a bit, Jude?
Well, I'll be delighted to. And I agree with you. For me, it's not a question of us awakening and moving from the me to the we. It's literally, as Einstein once said, to expand our spiral, our circle of compassion from the me to include the we and include the all. Because when we do that, we can breathe in and out, and we can do so with, as you say, love and compassion and joy. Because when we're I often talk about journeys. I'm big on journeys.
Yes, I understand. Journey is such a beautiful word and way to look at our lives. Yes.
It is. And I've got to the point that I'm not sure there's a destination. It's an ongoing journey. But as such, we've collectively had a worldview of separation. And a worldview of separation drives a world of suffering. Because when we see each other as being separate, it's very lonely. So I talk about a journey from loneliness as we wake up. It's essentially a journey from loneliness to aloneness, where we can, sit upright in the canoe as the Hawaiian kahunas ask us to. Don't lean forward, don't lean back, just be who we are. That's all we need to be. And from aloneness, we can expand our awareness still further to all oneness. And the spelling of alone and all one just adds an L. And El was the ancient name for God, for great spirit, for great mystery, for cosmic mind, for all that is. So as we wake up, we expand beyond that lonely me to include the we and ultimately the all. And then it becomes a natural balance between me and we and all. It's not something that is draining. It's something that's joyous and celebratory. But that's the journey I feel we are on together. And I've seen this journey in my own sensing for the last 30 years. It's not suddenly here, but I do feel that what we've gone through this last 2 years, with all its challenges, has been an enormous opportunity rather than a crisis, as a metamorphosis, literally to transform our sense of who we are and who we are in the world. And literally now with the evidence that reality truly is one. When we talk of unity and diversity, we now have the evidence, the scientific evidence to show us that that is truly the case. We are not just interdependent, we are inseparable. And yet we're all unique. Every single person is unique. And that then enables us, I feel, to experience, not just understand this, but to enter into the experience of what this really means in our everyday lives.
So beautiful, Jude. From aloneness to all oneness. And I love this metamorphosis that you're speaking of. And I've been hearing a lot of people bringing about the archetype of the butterfly and feeling this cocoon that we've gone through, and now we're coming out and we're opening our wings. In terms of that cosmic butterflying that's happening, can you just go into that a little bit more from the universal perspective? And I, as a cosmologist, I'm sure you have a very vast perspective on this. Would you like to speak to the butterflying effect on a cosmic level?
Absolutely. I have a very vast cosmic perspective, and I also need to do the washing up like everybody else. It always comes back to how do we live our lives? You know, we talk about a whole world view, which I co-founded as a community 5 years ago. We talk about act local, feel global, think cosmic. And what we've now got from the emerging new science, cosmological new science, but also at all scales of existence and across numerous fields of research, is showing us that instead of being a great thing, our universe is really a great and wonderful cosmic thought. And mind and consciousness, they're not what we have, and they're not the accidental outcomings of an arbitrary evolutionary process for the last 13.8 billion years. That mind and consciousness literally are what we and the whole world are. And our universe not only exists and evolves as a unified entity, made up of meaningful information, which is the cosmos's way of expressing consciousness in meaningful, relational, dynamic patterns at all scales of existence and complexity. But our universe embodies an innate evolutionary impulse. It literally exists to evolve from simplicity to complexity and ever greater levels of self-awareness. So what's happening now is part of our universes and our planetary home Gaia's evolutionary impulse. We're being nudged, pushed, pulled by Gaia, by the universe. Wake up, wake up. Because this is the time we can't go on behaving as we have done from that fragmented perception and wrong, incorrect, and dangerous perspective of separation and soul materiality. Our universe is far grander, far more wonderful, far more meaningful than the old outworn perception allows for.
Oh, Jude, I could just listen to you speak all day and through the night in my dreams. Yes, and you brought up such an important point, reconnecting to our all oneness with the cosmos, with Gaia. And I have really been resonating with just going outside and reconnecting to nature, reconnecting to Gaia, literally touching the earth, touching a tree, and feeling that all oneness that we are. And just in doing so, it helps me to remember that deep love within myself that is part of the whole. And I thought you brought up something else. When we talk about acting locally and how powerful that can be and how it ripples out, for me, that is where the freedom comes in. are activating our own freedom. When I think of trying to deal with the whole everything that's going on right now, it's completely overwhelming. But when we bring it back to our connection to Gaia and to our own understanding that we can act locally, that we can act in our own lives, and that literally affects and works with the whole co-creation on such a beautiful scale, it's really empowering, and it sets my spirit free to know, to remember, oh, I can actually focus on my life and act locally as the conduit to that whole evolution that's happening. Would you like to anything more you want to say about that?
You said it so beautifully. The only thing perhaps to sort of slightly nuance with that is we talk a lot about unity and diversity. Yeah. I'm sort of really sensing now that we can go beyond that, to go beyond unity and diversity, to even go beyond unity in inclusion, to what I call unity in belonging. Because when we belong, we know we belong. We don't need to be invited into any parties. We don't need to be anything. We just know, we have that deep knowingness of belonging. And it seems to me that when we know we belong, we naturally act in whatever ways whatever is ours to do, because that's our passion, that's our joy, that's our inspiration, that's our empowerment. Whatever it may be, that is ours to do. And that's how we belong. And that, as you say so beautifully, is how then we naturally expand our circle and spirals of compassion to link up and lift up. And literally, that is what this awakening is about. We're literally awakening to remember we are inseparable. We belong. We are Gaians. We're all Gaians.
Oh, I love that. We are all Gaians and we belong. We are. Let's be that love. Let's be that loving connection and remember it. Let's know we belong to it right now. And if you've forgotten, just listen and feel this energy, and we can remember together in this moment. And that will make all the difference. It will make all the difference. Wow, Jude, it has been such an honor to have you with us. I can't tell you how much your dedication to your life path and your work means to me in my personal life and to the world. Thank you for all that you bring forth, so that we can, I was reading your first book, or your last book, The Cosmic Hologram, Information at the Center of Creation, and I would have to read each page a few times to really take it in. And at the same time, you constructed this book in a way so that someone like me, a layperson who hasn't grown up in the world of quantum physics, can actually start to understand and take in and assimilate some of these very complex these complex topics that we are also so a part of, right? That we are. Mm-hmm. And so thank you for helping us to actually understand some of these vast topics that we are a part of in such a beautiful, assimilatable way. And I know you're working on your next book right now, the second one in your newest trilogy. And can you tell us the title?
It's called Gaia, Her Story. And just one tiny little story from it is when we talk about the origins of love, we may be able to date them in our human journey back 4.4 million years ago. We have some of the earliest fossils of our hominin ancestors. And what we know from the sizes, it seems very strange, but from the sizes of their male and their female and their teeth, very strange, but we do things like that. We know that they created pair bonds. They cooperated, they looked after their children, their babies together. That may be the origin of love.
Beautiful.
Still within us. We are literally built to love each other.
Oh, That's the perfect way to conclude. We are literally built to love each other. Thank you so much, Jude. And let's call Scott in, and we will share all about your beautiful website and what you're up to.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, Kristen.
Jude.
Thank you, dear. Bless you.
Bless you. Thank you.
What a perfect message. We are built to love.
Yes. Perfect way to conclude the show. And let's hear about Jude. Well,
here is her website, and it's really easy to get to. It's her name. So you go to Jude, Jude, Curavan, CurriVan.com, JudeCurrivan.com. Well, it's the end of one show, but the beginning of another show awaits us. We're really trying to play with the timing because every show goes so long and it's so wonderful, and there are all these people that stay with it. I mean, we still have over 200 people in our Zoom room and thousands watching on Facebook. But then all my people that I work with say, but Scott, we got to make the show shorter. So I try to make it shorter, and then it goes longer. And I try to make it shorter, and then it goes longer.
It's an accordion.
Yes, exactly. So
it's an accordion show.
I want to invite everyone to stick around for the after show because we got some really cool stuff. Kristen and Keishi are going to do a beautiful, spontaneous experience. We've got a couple of great music videos, and we're going to replay the conversation that took place between Bruce Lipton and Elizabeth Sartoris. So I want to encourage everyone to stick around. And I also am going to play, a video as kind of a transition. And this is from our executive producer, Jay Mayer. And Jay always wants us to slow down. How many times today did we hear our different presenters telling us, slow down, take a pause, right? There's a consistent theme there. So just invite everybody to take a breath as we look at this very short video.
Oh, beautiful. And thank you so much, Jay and Jan, for supporting and sponsoring this incredible show. We're so grateful. Everyone here tonight felt the incredible love that is present on Saturday Night Alive. And I know it takes a lot to really make the show go each and every week. So thank you both. And thank you, Scott and Deborah. Infinite gratitude.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun to be here tonight.
Yeah. And Deborah, wherever you are in Mexico, hola, and to kind of lead us into the after show, here we go. Okay, we are officially in the after show, and I'm going to turn over to Kristen and bring on her wonderful partner here, Keishi.
Yes. Well, Scott was saying we want to start the after show with some kind of a meditation or a prayer. And I felt, you know what? Let's do an improvisation, a solo improvisation. And Keishi's going to be here so we can just see what happens together. Keishi and I have done a lot of weaving together improvisationally over the years. And it feels like, why not do it on Zoom? Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. So we're just going to see what happens, and please send your intentions into this piece. I like to think that we are all co-creating this space together, and it's not just me doing the music and Keishi doing the dance. Literally, your loving intention is holding a field and opening a portal so that we can experience together and collectively whatever comes through. So let's take one deep breath together before we start. Inhaling. Feel that clearing breath, light, 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 and exhale. Stepping into the space of soul Om, where soul is light, weaving with Om, the vibration of the universe. Okay, here we go. I'm going to mute Scott too.
within us now. 'Cause it's all around us, all within us now.
Thank you, dear ones. Casey, that was a pure joy to weave with you. The candle was pure magic. So beautiful. I love you, sister.
I love you. Always a pleasure.
Oh, thank you for staying up so late too, so that we could have that weaving. So much gratitude.
Wait until the two of you get a chance to watch what you just created. That was absolutely one of the most wonderful experiences in the entire history of this show. Just what an incredible spontaneous combination of Kristen's incredible music and Casey's incredible dance. Wow. Wow.
I think one of the greatest gifts of my artistic life has been these moments where I've had the pleasure to weave with Casey. There's no question that we came here at the same time, and we are soul family, and we're brought together for a reason so that we could weave our art paths as one. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Kristen. To many more magic moments.
Many more magic moments. Oh, okay.
I just want to just encourage everybody while we're in this inspiration to write down and support both of these amazing artists. These artists deserve our support. Kaeshi, it's her name, KAESHI.com, Kaeshi.com. And again, for any of you who missed it, we talked about this a little bit in the morning, it felt like the morning, at the beginning of the show. Please go to Kristen's new membership site. You go to KristenHoffman.com. That's KRISTIN, Hoffman, HOFFMANN, 2 F's, 2 N's. Go to KristenHoffman.com, and then in the upper right-hand corner, go to her membership site. It's brand new. She just created this wonderful, wonderful membership site. And go to what says Become a Member. I joined today, and this is how we can support Kristen. And again, tonight we did not have a nonprofit organization. We wanted to put our full support into Kristen. So please join. You can go for $11 a month, $33 a month, or $77 a month. And each one of those levels brings you all sorts of amazing Kristen Hoffman magic and energy. Let's all become part of her sonic soul family.
So thank you, Scott.
Absolutely.
Okay, Casey, I wish you a restful evening. Thanks again, dear one. And next we are going to share another one of Stephanie's videos.
That's right.
This video is a powerhouse. Stephanie made this new song recently called Goddess. Oh, it is lifting up divine feminine energy to the max. And we are about to dive into Stephanie's video, Goddess. Woo!
Wow!
That's powerful, right?
Oh, it's incredible. And, Nev
I know I am wounded. I am a goddess. It's acknowledging that wound that we've gone through, the shattered part of ourselves. But yes, I am beautiful. I am a goddess. And reminding each of us, no matter what you felt before, if you felt that wound, if you felt that pain, just remember you are a goddess, each and every one of us. I love it. I listen to this song daily and work out.
Nev is still with us, and I brought Nev on because He's just been moving and grooving to the music. So Nev, thank you. You're still with us. Thank you.
Still here, and I just love that we're in a space where we're able to honor the divine feminine, the goddess. As you said, Kristen, it exists in each and every one of us. You know, we have that balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine. When we come to honor that, we can let that fall away and we come to being again, which is what this sharing has all been about. And that's where we are all the same and amazing.
Yes, so well said, brother. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Ah,
Just a reminder that Stephanie created this wonderful option for all of us. So if you go to her website, stephaniecarlinprograms.com/recipe, she's offering a recipe for freedom. It pairs well with deep healing, doesn't it? All you have to do is put in your name and email address, and you're going to get a beautiful meditation from this incredible artist. So everybody go to stephaniecarlinprograms.com/recipe. Oh my. Well.
So here we are, right? I think we're at the replay. Yes?
We are at the replay. So earlier, and I'll let Kristen introduce this again. We are going to replay a little bit of your introduction, Kristen. I haven't had a chance to cue it up exactly right. So, we'll come on in a little bit into your introduction probably. But why don't you just tell people who might have missed a little bit about Bruce and Elizabeth?
So Bruce and Elizabeth are going to lead us in an incredible dialogue. It is powerful, and both of them, let me get their bios back up here so I can introduce them properly. But let's see. Yes, Bruce Lipton and Elizabeth Sartoris. Bruce is a cell biologist and lecturer. He is an internationally recognized leader in bridging science and spirit. He's a best-selling author of The Biology of Belief, The Honeymoon Effect, and co-author with Steve Berman of Spontaneous Evolution. And Elizabeth Sartoris is an evolution biologist, futurist, speaker, author, and sustainability consultant to businesses, government agencies, and other organizations. She has a PhD from Dalhousie University in Canada. And I think this is probably in the pre-record, so I won't say too much, but this conversation is one that is so stimulating and so important in that it balances science and wisdom with spirit. I mean, how often do we see these two come together so vividly? So I will just say the first time I heard them do a dialogue together, firstly, it reminded me how powerful the dialogue format is. And when you get two experts together who have spent their whole lives in their field of study, and both are scientists who are also tapped into spirit, you get something very dynamic, and we're going to see that. Saturday Night Alive tonight, and I couldn't be more enthused about this first experience that we are about to dive into. My dear friends Bruce Lipton and Elizabeth Sartoris, who I'm sure many of you know, and I'm going to read their bios in a moment. They are going to dive into a riveting dialogue, something that I experienced recently on a retreat with a group of evolutionary leaders that we are all a part of. And as they were speaking, I was on the edge of my chair just, wow, this is so evolutionary and beautiful and exciting. And when I knew that I was able to invite special guests tonight, the first thing that I knew was, I want to give guests of Saturday Night Alive the experience of Bruce Lipton and Elizabeth Sartoris in dialogue. So here we are, all together. I see you're on this, you're joining me. And I just want to read your bios quickly before we start, and then I'm just going to turn it over to you both. Bruce Lipton, PhD, cell biologist and lecturer, is an internationally recognized leader in bridging science and spirit. He is the best-selling author of The Biology of Belief, The Honeymoon Effect, and co-author with Steve Behrman of Spontaneous Evolution. And Elizabeth Sartoris, who I also refer to as my condor. We'll tell you that story another time. Elizabeth Sartoris is an evolution biologist, futurist, speaker, author, and sustainability consultant to businesses, government agencies, and other organizations. She has a PhD from Dalhousie University in Canada. And beyond these bios, I can just say both of these humans are big-hearted, open-spirited beings, and I could not be more excited than to see you both together tonight. So I turn it over to you to dive into your own personal experience of what we're doing here, what's happening, the great awakening that is unfolding before us. Please share.
Ladies first, my dear partner, Elizabeth.
Well, Bruce and I are always very happy to see each other too. We're old friends. And you know, that book, Spontaneous Evolution with Steve Behrman, I so love. And I think particularly relevant tonight is that Steve's comment that we've gone through the age of nefarious and are now in the age of precarious, trying to head into the age of Aquarius. He's so wonderful. And there you go, you know, a political economist with such wonderful humor. He's unsurpassable with words. So anyway, here we are in that age of precarious. And what Bruce and I are both most happy about these days, I think, is that evolution biologists are finally catching up with us and recognizing that evolution is far more about cooperation than it's ever been about competition. Not that both don't exist. My big contribution perhaps was seeing a maturation cycle repeat over and over from the time when only bacteria populated Earth, and where a youthful mode is competitive and is very creative as it's competitive, but eventually it matures. It discovers the one big secret that cooperation is way less energy expensive than competition was. And so, Bruce, take it from here for a while and make it a
we are deep in a world of Darwinian competition, because that was the so-called science that said, oh, life is a struggle and competition to survive. And that philosophy has become behavior and culture. It's expected and accepted when people do kinds of Darwinian things and they go, oh, that's just, competition in the struggle for life. And I go, wait a minute, that competition is not the competition that is going to sustain us. That's actually a competition that's breaking the system right now, because it's a different meaning of competition. Meaning from the original version of competition is to strive together, meaning that people compete to work together to get to a better end. So in other words, if I was a tennis player, and I'm not, and I wanted to improve my game, I'd go into competition, but I wouldn't play a person with lesser skills. I would play a person with greater skills, because in that competition, I increase my ability. So that's not, winner loser competition. In that competition, everybody wins. And the world we're in is a winner loser competition. That is one of the most destructive things on this planet right now, because it says the individual. It's the fitness of the individual. And I go, and what's the whole purpose? Well, to survive. And I go, well, what is the means to survive? And that's all of a sudden where the whole thing goes wrong. And as Elizabeth and I have worked together for years to recognize the nature of the system is like entropy flying all over the place, when evolution is bringing it back together in a wholeness. And before I turn it back to my dear partner, I would just say, so what craziness you're seeing right now? Well, this is not the first civilization to end. We've had in Western civilization a whole series of civilizations that have come and gone. But the point is, when one civilization is coming down and another one's coming up, it goes into what looks like chaos, like exactly what we have right now, as an old pattern is breaking and it's simultaneously a new pattern is forming. And thank you, every one of you on this line right now, because that's what gives me hope because you represent the cultural creatives who are saying there's another way out of this issue that we've gotten ourselves into, and it's the nature of community. And this is what my wonderful partner Elizabeth and I got back together, I got 20 some years or more ago, talking about all this when the world was so pro-Darwinian and we were so like in a different place. And now that different place is here. And so Elizabeth, how are we doing in this different place?
Well, let me just tell everybody who's watching us that Bruce is actually behind him. You see a path down to a beautiful beach. And where he's pointing his finger right now is where I am. So we are both in beautiful Aotearoa, where the Maori who named it first are still strong and teaching us a lot of good lessons. Now, one of the big lessons I kind of grokked in studying evolution was that if we agree that biological evolution and that's putting aside the possibilities of genetic engineering by aliens and friendly ETs or whoever, because I don't think all the evidence is in for who we are, and I am a reincarnation believer. So, but anyway, what happened when the big brain exploded suddenly was that we lost knowing what to do. All the other creatures in evolution know how to find mates, how to find foods, how to divide up territory, how to raise their young, how to govern themselves, except humans. So we are indeed unique that way, that we have to figure out how to govern ourselves. And that freedom is a great responsibility. So we have to accept that responsibility. And for me, the easiest way to look at who we are and who the whole cosmos is as the keyboard of vibrations, where matter is in the low keys, and then we move up into electromagnetic energy. And then Einstein showed us that you can transpose music up and down the keyboard because energy is matter, matter is energy. And then we move up into the higher keys where it goes non-material, where the ETs hang out when they don't want to be seen, and where the angels live and where we go after we die. So up in Western science just hasn't been able to grok the high end of the keyboard, but we have many sciences such as the Vedic in India, and please excuse the sirens, somebody on the beach is in trouble and the rescue vehicles have to come by. So anyway, the Eastern sciences such as the Vedic, which Sister Jenna comes out of that tradition, and we'll hear from her later today, they start with cosmic consciousness, with the great mind, whatever you want to name that great mind, that great consciousness, and just slow the vibrations down. So if we see ourselves as playing the whole keyboard, being matter, energy, spirit, not bodies with souls, but body, mind, souls, the whole thing, then when we make our decisions on what to leave to the individual and what to leave to the collective to decide, becomes much easier. Over to you, Bruce.
Well, talking about things coming easier, we are looking at a world that doesn't look that easy right now. And the relevance is that this is a requirement, because we can't build a sustainable world on today's foundation. And the foundation that we have has been pillaging the planet so much that they talk about the fact that to continue going, we need the resources of two Earths just to keep up where we are. Well, obviously there's only one. And so there's only one resolution, and that is we have to return back to what is called our animistic roots. And these were the more ancient people who were on this planet. And I'll give, Native Americans or First Nation people in Canada. And I say, what was unique about them? And here's what was unique. They perceived the environment in which they lived a garden, and that they were gardeners to maintain the environment. And somehow or other, that whole thing's gotten so lost that not only are we not gardening, we are trampling this garden right now. So it requires us to change behavior. And this is what the call is right now. Yeah, everything's up. The way we were living, it's going to change. So we have to assemble a new behavior. And the new behavior is what you're experiencing by coming together right now with the other people in this community. And that is the evolution of community, where we are going to be the equivalent of cells in the body of a larger superorganism called humanity. And I said, well, what's humanity? All humans. There's no human that you kick out. That would be autoimmune disease. We're all cells in the same body. The idea that we can hate each other, kill each other, and do all that stuff, that in the body, that does happen, but that's called autoimmune disease. That's when your own system is killing your own cells. And so the whole idea is this: the planet is in autoimmune disease. And once we start to learn that every individual is a piece of the infinite, a piece of all that is, that each of us, and Elizabeth brought up earlier, are souls that are they're immortal. We come back. Again, when people know these things, it generates a new way of understanding how we can relate to each other, that everyone is a piece of all that is. And that's why the whole issue is evolution is community. And it's funny because if you look around right now, it seems to be an attack on community. And I think these are the old forces that really prefer to hold us in the back, hold us back. That belief, oh no, climate change doesn't exist. Oh no, that there's enough resources for everyone. Those people who say that don't want us to move forward. And so there's an antagonism now. Those that want to survive and thrive into the future recognize we have to go to community. And others that want to hold us back have separated us. And COVID is such a scary example of separation. It says, don't talk to each other, stay in your own place, don't assemble. Well, that's total anti-evolution right there. And it's community that brings awareness and consciousness to the peak where a super organism, humanity, can manifest. Because humanity means compassion. Humanity means peace and happiness and wholeness. And that's what this planet is asking us to do. And if we don't do it, then the planet says, fine, we have a nice garden without you. And thanks for your visit, but please don't come back. Thank you, Elizabeth.
I'm glad you mentioned the kind of ban on community we went through in the long Cold War, where community sounded too much like communism, and we went into this crazy super individualism, and it's that we're trying to balance back. Now, interestingly, during that Cold War, the Soviet Union was teaching evolution biologists through Kropotkin's book, Mutual Aid, which was about the cooperation side of evolution, because they wanted the individual to serve the community. They were more interested in promoting the community. So you were supposed to give up your individuality to community, while capitalism was saying, no, you got to abandon community in favor of the individual. If they'd put them together, they might have gotten the maturation cycle that you go through the competitive youth and then the peaceful collective maturity. And the other thing you mentioned was what we have to learn from Indigenous people. And my favorite example of the best community ever are the Haudenosaunee of the northeast coast of North America, whom we know as the Iroquois, named such by invaders, French invaders. But the Haudenosaunee practiced the only true democracy I know of. My Greek roots, I know that the word was invented in Greece, and they did it great for privileged men. Which is what happened in the US. The Constitution was written by privileged men protecting private property. The Haudenosaunee had a true democracy where every voice counted. And when Benjamin Franklin hung out with them and learned about it, he talked to his colleagues about it in writing the Constitution. And they did take the checks and balances and a couple of things like that from the Haudenosaunee, but they left out women, children, nature, and the future, which is kind of very big parts of it. But they did everything, balanced the individual and the collective, always through dialogue. Always resolving things. Dialogue is a beautiful Greek word meaning through the word reaching harmony, not necessarily agreement, but harmony, so that as many voices as possible could be heard. And there's always a bit of trade-off that you have to give up some individualism in order to make for a good community. But it has to be done in a friendly way in which you talk until everyone is happy. And it's a great example. Then in Mondragon, Spain, a Catholic priest went around about 40 years ago to bars and places where young people hung out. And he said, if we want to build a society that's neither communist nor capitalist, but based on loving human relationships, how would we do it? And they put those ideas together. They implemented the Mondragon cooperatives, our urban cooperatives, all the businesses co-owned, nobody earning more than 6 to 8 times the lowest salary in the culture, and it works. So you can build a loving human relationship society, but we've never had to do it at the global level before. And that's what the indigenous people can be looked to, how to build it, but it's up to us to figure out, how do you do this as a networked global body of humanity?
Well, this is the problem we're all facing right now of how do we do all this? And there's some real interesting guides in nature. For example, organisms, let's say herd animals, actually individuals that have a territory, and the other individuals, same species, have a territory. And then there's a commons. And the commons is where all the individuals can walk, but when you're in your territory, that's your place. And when somebody's in their territory, that's their other place. And the significance of that picture is this, is that as Elizabeth just mentioned, that we have communism on one side, which is the community is what counts and the individuals are just, pieces. And then we have capitalism where the individuals count and the community isn't really, part of the story. And then I said, but the middle ground is the one that we're working on. And that is, we are individuals, yet we're in a community. And I say, well, if there's a set of understandings of how a community holds together and how we have to cooperate, the commons is the big place where you don't go out and mess up the commons. That's for all of us to share. But it also recognizes the individual. That in your yard, so to speak, you can do what you want as long as it doesn't affect the commons or the territory of any of the others around you. And that's personal individual freedom. If I'm in my place, I can do what I want as long as it doesn't spread out and affect outside into the commons or to other people's property. And there's a special part of this, and that is the sanctity of the human body. That's ours as individuals. And now all of a sudden you see a collective government trying to say, well, not necessarily, because we can inject stuff into you. And it's sort of like, see, for me, that's like, you're walking into my yard now. That's my individual character. And I protect myself this way. And what I do in my yard is really up to me. So when there are laws against something that somebody is willfully or wanting to do in their own yard, but somebody comes in and stops you, that they're trespassing on individuality. So the emphasis is, can we have community and individuality? And that's the only way it's going to work, because communism is not the answer. We're just all pieces in some bigger picture and everybody's just same pieces. It's like, no. And capitalism is dreadful because its rule is do anything, the means is to, the end is to survive. The means is any damn way you want to do it, which all of a sudden is not in harmony or community at all. So we're looking for the middle ground, and we have to assert who we are as individuals and allow our freedoms where we can have our freedoms in our own territory, but also recognize, no, we are people in a community. And therefore, we cannot alter the world outside in a way that is harmful or influencing these other people on the outside. So it's a balance issue. We're in the middle of it. How it's going to turn out? Interesting point, because we've been here before. This is not the first civilization that's been here and then got lost. I mean, we always thought civilization was Middle East of 5000 BC, and it's like, there were civilizations that died out 10,000 BC. And who are they? It's like, well, can we be one of those, or will we be the ones to break it and survive and move into that future? And I would say, if you really want to understand the rules, my dear partner Elizabeth has been, writing and talking and enumerating the rules to do this for many, many years. And I trust the wisdom of my dear colleague, Elizabeth.
Well, one of the things that I'm passionate about is that we've been told we're so competitive, and yet we live in these huge city hives. We are a truly social species, and we act accordingly. All day long, we can live in a city of millions of people, stopping at the red lights, not bumping into each other, paying at the supermarket, being friendly to each other, not stealing each other's stuff. 99 plus point something or other of what goes on in your life every day is cooperative already. So it's not such a big leap, but the leap is how to do it at the planetary level. And one of the things I've noticed is that cities, these big cooperatives, are much more natural than nations, if they have grown up from village to town to city, not the instant cities where you build infrastructure first and plug in unrelated people, but where there have always been relationships throughout the whole process, family lines, things like that. Now, the arbitrary lines scratched to build nations aren't going to work, because that's dividing nature into plots in ways that doesn't make sense. But if the cities, which already have alliances of mayors around the world, if they figure out the distributed networking that we have learned through inventing the internet, we understand that we don't want centralized control any more than your body has it or your cell has it. It's not the nucleus, as you've pointed out, that runs the cell, and it's not the brain that runs the body. We know that every cell in your body, every cell has its own needs that it has to meet, and it's constantly in negotiation at all levels, from cell to organ to organ system to the whole body. And these things can be worked out. So we know it can be done. We know it, we really know. And if we start eating the food we think people should eat in the future now, and treating each other the way we think people should treat each other in the future now, in other words, live the future now where you are, make your place as locally sustainable as possible, get rid of the toxins, recycle, all of those good things. That is how you bring the future about. You live it. So
Not only do we're not just living it, Elizabeth, darling, we are creators, and that is the nature of why we are here. And the creative abilities really been taken away from us during our developmental period, where we began to look at other people as our source and let go of our own beliefs about life. And this has gotten us in a lot of trouble right now. So the resolution is to identify who we really are. We are spiritual entities in a human body, that we've come here to create life experiences and to share those experiences with our energetic selves, because our body has abilities that our energy field, our spirit, doesn't have. When I asked myself, why have a spirit and a body, my cells in my body responded by saying, Bruce, if you're just a spirit, what does chocolate taste like? And that was the moment I realized, oh my God, this is adding to my consciousness, my spirit, my awareness. This virtual suit enhances my spirituality. So we're not damned by coming here. We came here to create.
To play the whole keyboard.
That's it. And when we start to learn that we co-create, then it turned out that the majority of people on this planet want exactly the same thing: peace and health and harmony, a job, just the basics of life. And it's so available to us right now.
Bruce, Elizabeth, I wish we had hours with you. Just fantastic. But we've got people waiting to come on Facebook that want to see us, and I got to do my little Facebook thing. God bless you, Bruce. Thank you so much for joining us once again on Saturday Night Live. And we're going to hear from
We're going to hear that in a minute.
We are going to hear that in a minute.
We're just getting a little taste. We're getting a little taste.
A little homeopathic dose. Sorry, folks. So, Kristen.
It's late night, so, things happen.
Well,
At least for me, it's almost 1 a.m.
Oh my God, you're doing amazing.
Thanks.
Marcel sent me the same link for both I am, it was the same link in the email. I didn't realize that until now. So I just went to YouTube and found it, but I need about 90 seconds, maybe less, to transfer to an MP4. So I'm going to let you share whatever you feel inspired to share.
Okay. I'm hearing a little, okay, here we go. Hold on, I'm hearing a little static. I'm going to mute you, Scott. So I just want to say, Nev, you're still here. That is so beautiful. Nev, thank you for holding the space with me until 1 a.m. I'm so grateful. Thank you all of you guys who are still here. You rock. It's been a beautiful, beautiful long journey together, and we are coming to the very end. We're going to share one more music video, which is Kwajo's brand new video that is called Soon Soom, and it means spirit. And I love it because there's like a little intro piece, and let me see if I remember how he describes it.
Well, thank you. Oh, thank you everybody for still being with us. Kristen, Nev, all of our people, 130 people still in the Zoom room.
Oh my gosh, you guys are serious late night owls.
Right, here we go with Kwajo's Soon Soom.
Soon Soom.
All right.
I like saying that. Woo, Kwajo.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Isn't that amazing? And he brings in so many of the themes that we've been talking about. He's talking to spirit and saying, grant us freedom, grant us peace, help us to heal our infirmities. I mean, isn't that amazing?
No, and the rhythm and the music is so upbeat. It just lifted my energy up so high.
Yes, definitely. Anyone who's listening, check out his newest album called Okwantuni. I think if we bring up that page that he shared with us, Scott, you'll see the cover of the album right there.
All right, hold on.
And so many of the pieces, and I actually co-created a piece on this album with Kwajo called Inspiration, which was super fun.
Here he is on Facebook. He gave me actually several web.
Oh, okay, great.
So here's one. This is his Facebook page. So it's Kwajo Spiri, S-P-I-R-I. And he's got some pretty cool stuff there.
Oh, yes. The documentary on the making of Okwantuni is incredible. And I see it right there at the top.
Yeah, there it is. I'm going to definitely ask him to come back on the show, because there's what we just listened to. And yeah, there's a whole documentary about his musical album. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go take a look at one other link. He gave me 4 links. So here, I think this is his YouTube channel. So yeah. So again, just if people want to go to his YouTube channel, there's a lot of really wonderful stuff there. And it's again, Kwajo Spiri, Kwadjo Spiri.
Yes, he's really committed to bringing through really high energy. And I think positive conscious hip hop is so called for these days, right? It's such a popular form of music. And well, I think the piece that we just heard was much more traditional, but in general, Kwajo's like bringing through this incredible activated spoken word. And it's so current, yet so different from other kind of hip hop and rap we hear that's not so positive. I mean, I love that Kwajo is really just lifting us up through such an important art form these days.
Here's that other website that he had given to us.
That's the record. That's the album I was talking about.
So here's the album. How do you pronounce that?
He says Okwantuni. Okwantuni.
Beautiful. And yeah, he's everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Pandora, Deisree.
Beautiful. I have a spontaneous feelings for the very end of our, I just have this spontaneous feeling for the last 3 minutes of our after show. Seeing as Nev stayed on the whole time with us, I was thinking, Nev, would you like to just leave us in a final, just 2 minutes, just take us out in your beautiful way that you do.
That's a wonderful idea.
I'm so blessed and grateful for each and every one of us as our uniqueness, but as our wholeness. And so I just want to bring the awareness, the remembering to each soul being that has come here in their own form of expression as the panelists, but as the audience that came to make this collective collaboration, because without them we would just be 9 or 10 people sitting here doing their own thing. Yeah, so it's them that are us, and we honor each and every one of you with so much gratitude, with open heart, and the energy that you brought us together, because without you, through the collective Wi-Fi of the universe, as I like to know it, we wouldn't be here. You called for it, we came, you responded, we are one.
Oh.
Thank you, Nev Winkworth. And we will put Nev's website one last time, healingwithnev.a.
And that Nev is natural energy vibrations.
Oh, perfect. Yes, it is. So go visit Nev's website, take him up on his 15-minute offer of a special consultation just for you. And thank you all so much who have spent 4 hours with us. We are grateful. We love you.
There's the website, healingwithnev.com.au, and a 15-minute consultation. I'm going to sign up for that right now as soon as we hang up. Nev, God bless you.
Scott, for you, man, everything you're doing, you know, it doesn't go unnoticed. You're a beautiful being. We are grateful for you to be able to allow us to come to this space, to be able to speak into it, to share. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you all so much, Nev, Scott. It was a beautiful journey with you.
Yes.
And look forward to more.
And we will be back, of course, next Saturday night, every Saturday night. And Kristen and I will be back. Kristen will be co-hosting the show on August 14th, all about healing connection with the Mystic Monastery. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show. All right. Thank you, Kristen. You are such an angel. Nev, how awesome to get to know you. And thank you all, over 100 people still in our Zoom room, and everybody on Facebook. Thank you, everybody.
That's
Good
amazing.
night, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow morning for my Sacred Sunday show. Good night.
Peace and dreams, everyone.